In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing for
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Red?
Gone are the days of pods and cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Sorry we are a bit late. We had some technical difficulties, and we were giving some people a chance to show up a bit later. This is Best Gen. It's called Best Gen because all of us on the panel, I know there's so many of us right now, we're all from the same generation, except that we're not. Because there's only two of us right now. And Charles, how much younger are you than I am?
I'm 23.
Yeah, Charles is a good 10 years younger than me. He's a good decade younger than me. We are not from the same generation, but we've adopted him into the folds because I feel like it's a good idea to have varying viewpoints, and as long as he agrees with everything I say on the show, he can be considered part of the best generation.
For sure.
But,
and
you know,
I grew up on a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, we're all Masomenos from the same generation, Charles excluded. So it's just me tonight. But we happen to think it's the best one. It's the best generation. Sorry, I'm cleaning stuff off my desk. It's the best generation because not because we're better people than the people who aren't part of the generation, but because our movies were. Mark asks a great question. Would he be Gen Z or Gen Alpha? I have no idea, but he's probably Gen Z.
I can look it up.
I don't even know what generation I think I'm technically a millennial, but I identify as a boomer. So it's all mixed up. The point is, we don't define ourselves by the generation that we belong in. Old stuff was good, and new stuff isn't quite as good. And so we're complaining about it, and we're waxing nostalgic about the old stuff and complaining about the new stuff. This intro is an absolute wreck.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We got Charles and me. Jared said he was gonna hop on, but he was gonna be late. I have not heard from David, even though I was with him today. He might have forgotten about the show because my parents are in town and they were going to be leaving today. And so we were all in Salt Lake together. But I went home, and then my parents said, hey, we're going to stay longer. So my brother might just be hanging out with my parents right now. And who knows? Charles was with us too, but he got on a flight home, and now he's back in an undisclosed location.
I am. I can't disclose it.
But he got his brand new microphone. It's not brand new. It's an old one that we gave him. So
yeah. Hope it sounds good.
That streaming goal has been accomplished. That was one of our goals. I always forget to set chat goals. We should do it. All right.
Brown.
Let's set one of these before we get too out. Let's poll the audience. What should our chat reward be for this stream?
I don't know. I'm horrible at coming up with ideas.
I miss being Gen X by 5. Oh, Charles did.
Yeah, just about
Gen Z.
5 years. I'm Gen Z
Mm-hmm.
only by technicality,
Yep.
not by
I
spirit.
I am in a weird mood tonight because I don't know if I got food poisoning or something. It was probably something that David cooked, but I'm not feeling great, and some of my kids might not be feeling great either. So I'm in a I'm in a wishy-washy mood, and Mark Clark wants to play some Conan. Yeah, I can play tomorrow. I can play tomorrow or Tuesday, and then I've got busy stuff the rest of the week. So I'm not feeling great, but the show must go on. It's going to be good. And here, talking about Gen Z. Here's a segue. Because I was with my dumb sisters. They insisted. They said you should. You know how when you're a comedian, everyone tells you to tell jokes, and sometimes they give you ideas and they're not that good. My sisters all insisted that on my YouTube channel I should do this because I showed them the Gen Z Bible, which is just an AI translation of the Bible, replacing some of the words with Gen Z slang, and they thought, "Oh, that's so funny! You should do that on your YouTube channel." And I said, "Just read the Bible on my YouTube channel?" They said, "Yeah, it'd be so funny." I was like, I wouldn't be creating anything. I would be stealing something that someone else, made an AI make, and I would just be reading it verbatim. Oh, tomorrow Sunday. Yeah, I meant
You'd be a
Monday,
reaction
Tuesday.
channel at that point.
I can stream Monday, Tuesday. I forget that today is Saturday and not Sunday because we changed days. Okay, so just to appease my dumb sisters, here is a verse from the Gen Z Bible. This is let's see. No, this is the wrong chapter. Chapter 6. Here we go. Okay, here is the Lord's Prayer from the Gen Z Bible.
So real quick, is this the entire Bible that's been translated by GI?
Yeah.
AI?
Yes.
Because I've read others where it's man made and they just take a couple verses and translate it.
No,
And those are
it's the
fun.
entire Bible.
Wow. Okay.
Let's see. It starts at... Okay, this is the Lord's Prayer from Matthew 6. So, like, when you pray, it's all like, "Hey, Heavenly Dad, your name is totally sacred and stuff, May your kingdom come and your will be done here on earth just like it is in heaven. Hook us up with some fresh grub every single day and forgive us..." That's the best line in the... And forgive us for the money we owe, just as we forgive those who owe us money. Don't let us get tempted, and keep us safe from bad vibes, because you're the boss forever and ever. Amen. So that was my dumb sister's idea.
Oh yeah.
Am I-
That is funny though.
I wonder if I'm internet famous now. I wonder if it worked. Oh, the AI Sasquatch videos. Okay, yeah, AI videos are crazy right now. We had got another one. I think Charles or David sent me some. They've been doing the Sasquatch videos are doing pretty good, but the other ones are the Stormtrooper videos. They're pretty great. Can we bring back the Inquisition? That'd be great.
I only know about those Sasquatch videos. I hadn't seen any of them, but the only reason I know about them is because my coworker picked me up from the airport and he was watching them on TikTok as I was driving back.
Mm-hmm. The Stormtrooper ones are good. It's just like two Stormtroopers that are just bad at their jobs. And one of them's called Greg.
I think I've seen some of those. Yeah,
there's some that, man. It's crazy how how good it looks. It looks really
Yeah.
good.
It's baffling.
AI is scary.
I remember when we were making fun of AI image generation and thinking this is so funny. It's not going anywhere because it's just so bad. And look where we are. Inquisition.
Here, there we go. The chat goal for tonight
Oh, let's see what you put.
is I'll read more of the Gen Z Bible, and we'll see if my sisters had a good idea or if that was dumb. I do like the line. Give us some grub.
Give us our daily grub.
Our daily grub.
That is good. It is good.
Okay, we've got news. We've got some news, and we've got some fun announcements in the news. And this is not news. I'm going to move that back. Yes. And we just have one episode of Murderbot discussed to discuss. And before Josh Templeton asks, I did not get to watch any more of Kings. I wanted to, except I spent the week with my dumb family and I didn't have time to watch anything. I snuck in one episode of Clarkson's Farm on my phone, and I almost fell asleep during it because I didn't have any time this week. I got like 1 hour of an audiobook read too, because on the drive up to Salt Lake, my wife kept talking to me. And I just wanted to read. So I didn't get anything done. Watched one episode. We watched Murderbot. Man, I'm not 100% tonight. We watched Murderbot. And we were supposed to start watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms tomorrow, June 15th. And now the show has been pushed back at least 6 months. It's been pushed to 2026 with no release date. If you look on Google, it'll still say the show's starting tomorrow. It'll say episode 1 starts tomorrow. But there is some nebulous time in 2026 is A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which means we're probably getting House of the Dragon Season 3 in 2027, because I guess we've just forgot how to make television now. We have the technology. I mean, AI, it could just make stuff now. And it's a lot faster. And I'm going to sneeze into the microphone. Hold on. I can mute myself.
Bless you. Okay, well, we didn't hear it, but.
I am not okay.
Yeah. You weren't like this when I was there. I don't know.
I was feeling sick this morning. I didn't eat any food.
I wouldn't know. I left this morning, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But and then if you want, I could talk about Monkey Man.
Oh yeah, Charles watched a movie, so we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Maybe we talk about that while we see if David or Jerry. Oh! I got a text. Is it a sext? This is from David. It's not a sext. Thank goodness. Oh crap! I totally forgot about the show. I have not watched Murderbot, and the kids just started playing on both computers. Goodness gracious, David. I don't think it was my kids. Like this feels like I ate too much like pork, you know.
Yeah.
What's up, gay boys? $2 from
things.
William Richards. Yeah. Thanks for the super chat, man. And we're so gay. We're so
in the classical sense.
So very happy. And
very excited.
I realize I'm streaming over Prophet of the Dragon too, but not because I wanted to. It's because he's been streaming for like 10 hours. He's been playing Sea of Stars. Is that the video game he's playing? I thought because I got back from Salt Lake and I queued up for I got the show ready, and he was streaming, and I thought for sure he'll be done 6 hours from now.
Yeah.
He's still going.
You'd think.
So we might. Oh yeah, okay. You can talk murder bot.
Yeah.
I can send you a link because I made you guys watch it. If we hit the goal, we'll have to read more Bible. All right, let me grab the link real quick. Steve is crazy, but this game looks super fun. It's like his classical RPG. I might have to buy Sea of Stars. It looks pretty cool. Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars. I hadn't heard much about it.
So sorry for streaming over you, Steve. Oh man, I feel so great, so great. So Charles, yeah, tell us about before we get into news or anything. Tell us about Monkey Boy,
Monkey Man.
Monkey Man.
Yeah,
This is the Indian John Wick.
Yes, that is a great description. Actually, I haven't seen any of the John Wick movies. I've just seen clips, but that seems like a fair description. It is pretty good. I loved it. I definitely recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have some complaints or concerns.
Is there a monkey's paw in the movie?
There's not a monkey's paw, as in the little
cool
wish-making thingy. That would have been fun.
See, that could have been the entire setup for the movie. Is he gets a monkey's paw? Is I want revenge on the people who killed my wife, and then the finger goes down, and the monkey's paw kills his dog, and then he's getting revenge on the monkey's paw for the rest of the movie.
So he does have a dog in this movie, but nobody kills it. He just uses it in a pretty clever way. I thought it was pretty fun, actually, the way he used it.
Are you saying just watch John Wick 4 instead, or you just watched it? Because I just watched it a couple of months ago, and I finally caught up, and John Wick was pretty good. It's full of Indians. Were there monkeys? Wait. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a great follow-up question, Will. Were there monkeys in the movie, Charles?
Just the Monkey Man. The whole thing revolves around... It's kind of like RRR in the sense that there was a small village and people came in and they kind of disrupted him, and now he's looking for revenge. I guess it's not quite RRR. But it starts off with his mom telling him the story of the Monkey Man. Oh, Manu Man.
And then he uses the mythology. He becomes the night monkey.
Kind of, yeah.
He uses the mythology of the monkey to become vengeance himself. And then his parents die.
Because then he
falls down a well. So he falls out. His parents. So he goes to see a movie with his mom, and it's the Monkey Man movie. And coming out of the movie, she gets shot, and all of her monkey pearls fall on the ground. And then he falls into a well, and there's a whole bunch of monkeys that start flying at him because they're the monkeys from Wizard of Oz, obviously. And he develops a phobia of monkeys, and he uses the power of monkeys to become vengeance itself, and he roams the streets at night.
He becomes what he fears most, and he rides a monkey mobile. And he dresses up like a monkey.
Why would he drive a monkey mobile? That sounds horrible.
It does. It does sound horrible. No, he starts boxing, and he's in a boxing area where everyone has a gimmick. Like there's this snake guy, and there's this big old.
Wait. Does he use monkey style for his fighting?
He puts on a monkey mask and he acts like a monkey because his whole thing is he loses on purpose. He's the guy who loses on purpose at first, and the guy just wants him to put on a show. So he's like, act like a beast, act like the monkey that you're dressed as.
Oh, he's paid to take falls in the ring.
Yeah. Yes. And near the end of the movie where he starts acting more like a monkey and just taking on the Monkey Man persona. Luchador.
This movie sounds a little bit racist.
It maybe, I don't know.
I mean, it's probably a good thing it's about Indians, not Africans.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm gonna tell you, there was a lot of people. Some of the characters did look like monkeys, and it's not a jab at them. But it was intentional. They intentionally showed some characters that had the big ears
You
that were
didn't
out
have
like
to.
this.
You,
It was an intentional, and I noticed it. And it was cool.
you didn't have to
And
jump
it's cool.
directly into the trap that I laid. Oh wow, a jabroni. It's one of my favorites.
What does jabroni mean?
I don't know. I've never heard of KFG Chapter 2, though. Do you have to watch Chapter 1 to enjoy KFG? But this does look very much like an RRR type movie in that it's Indian, and the main character looks like a man. That was the best part about RRR. It was just dudes being dudes. It was just bros being bros. And it was the first time in about like 30 years in Hollywood. I know this wasn't a Hollywood movie. It was a Bollywood movie. It was the first time in about 30 years where two characters could just be friends and not bang.
Oh, it was so refreshing. Just two dudes.
Hollywood doesn't
in a
understand
hot tub,
friendship anymore.
a few feet apart because they're not gay.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I'm gonna look up this KGF because that.
Sorry, you can actually tell me about the movie. I'll stop cracking. I won't stop cracking jokes. I'll keep interrupting you. But so he fights.
I know. That's what you're here for.
It's about. So he goes to his
So
village.
he starts off in the ring.
I thought it starts off in a village.
You're right.
and
It
it gets
starts off in the
invaded.
village.
So it's a ring. He does cage fighting in a small village.
Okay. It starts in the village. He's a little kid. The police come in because I think
The
one of
police
the
come
main
and take him and
antagonists
say,
is-
"You're gonna live. You're gonna be a warden of the state, and you're gonna cage fight for the police."
one of the main antagonists of the movie is this religious figure who's starting to be a prophet and whatnot. And I think he claimed this land as a holy site, and he deforested it. He cut down the forest to build up his community. Deforested. There you go.
That's you're right. I was gonna make fun of you, but that does sound weird. Deforested.
He cut the forest down to make room for his Zion, I guess. And
deforested.
And he sent the police in. And the two antagonists are this prophet guy and the policeman who came and assaulted his mother and then killed her in front of his eyes.
Okay,
so he's out to get revenge on
typical right-wing fantasy, fridging all the female characters.
So I've wondered kind of what the message of this was. That's one of my complaints is I'm not totally sure what I don't know. There wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too thick-skulled, smooth brain for that. But
who's the director? Is this? I feel like it's like Ari Aster or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey Man.
It was very clear to see, why he was going after him, but I couldn't necessarily understand what his morals were. What did he really believe in? I knew he wanted revenge, but what was he actually standing for other than revenge? And that was one of my complaints.
He directed himself. Yeah, that is a big problem with Hollywood right now. Is they don't know how to tell stories without because they don't believe in good and evil. They don't know how to tell stories about good and evil, and frequently the plots just end up muddled because you're like, I don't know what any of these characters actually stand for, because they don't want to accidentally insinuate that they stand for virtuous things.
Exactly. Now, in this, it was clear to see that the main antagonist, the policeman, was awful. You could see that. So you could still get behind him, and you could still get into the groove and want him to succeed because you agree that this main guy, the policeman, is awful. The prophet isn't necessarily so obviously awful. They try to make it clear that he's kind of pulling the strings, and that he is disingenuous, but they don't really show him doing anything necessarily evil up until the very end.
Sorry, Mark, I missed your dad joke entirely, but it was, why did the pig quit sunbathing? And there's because it was bacon. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was really good. The fight scenes were fantastic. They were really, really good. The camera and the sound, the cinematography, everything was just phenomenal. I was glued to the screen.
Cool.
The story was fun, even though it's somewhat muddled with what their stances are. And okay, so there were a couple of things where I was sort of dubious of. I don't know, because I think it's just because I've been so accustomed to being attacked by as a Christian, having all kinds of anti-Christian, pro woke, all kinds of this stuff in the media nowadays.
Right.
I was expecting it, and then there was things that would show up, and I was like, is that a sign of them doing it?
Yeah.
Or not?
There
were a couple of throwaway lines that kind of looked at wokeism, but they didn't really. It wasn't preaching, it wasn't Marvel or Star Wars like we see nowadays. But there was the first line. There was just a place where they were talking about how it was a safe space, how we have all religions. We might even have a closeted Christian in the back, and everyone started booing and whatnot. And that was just a throwaway. The way it was set up, it could be anti-Christian, but that was like the only thing in there, except for one scene where the prophet looked like Christ for a little bit. And I thought, okay, well, the prophet's a bad guy. There may be things, but it was so little and so like that was the only thing that I can't really say that was anti-Christian. I'm so used to seeing anti-Christian that I'm already prepared to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
But anyways, I mean, I'm willing to believe that it was genuine, and that's not a complaint. That's just a possible concern.
Yeah, some people will say it's confirmation bias that you want to be persecuted, but also other people could also say that it's conditioning because every movie ever has been anti-capitalist, anti-Christian, anti-white, stupid stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'm willing to admit that this could be just.
Well, I haven't seen it.
I could be wrong here, but yeah, there's one line where they're talking about how the police are corrupt and they're bad, and it just mentions how they're attacking a trans group in the native village, and that was it.
A trans group in the
really
native village,
it was
Charles?
Really weird.
Did you just say I couldn't figure out if this movie was woke or not, and then followed that up with the sentence, in a tiny remote village on the edge of civilization, the police, the trans group was experiencing police brutality, and they just walked around saying, "Hands up, don't shoot."
Yes,
but
it was such a throwaway line.
Okay, Monkey Man, trans allegory.
Oh no. It was such a throwaway line that I didn't think much of it.
The radical impact of Monkey Man's transgender heroes. There's an entire squad of transgender superheroes in this movie, Charles.
No, okay, so those were definitely men dressed as women. That's the thing. So they showed up and they started killing some guys, and I thought, okay, well, this is the sign that it's woke. There's a bunch of these women, girl bosses, which every now and then is fine. They didn't fit the moment, but then they pulled off their masks, and these are dudes. These are dudes, or they're trans women who have not tried very hard. Like, I put it on my list of good things to say about it because I thought they were going to disappoint me with having just a group of women, but it turned out to be a bunch of dudes, like in Mulan, dudes dressed in dresses. And it made sense that they were winning the fight.
Does it give them a reason for why they're dressed up in dresses, or is it because they're just trans?
So that's a little bit confusing. So halfway through
for me, this is an anthem for the underdogs, the voiceless, and the marginalized. Together, they wage this war for the good and just, and for me. And I really just wanted to include Hijira community. Is that The third gender in India. Okay, yeah, this is. Oh, gee, I wonder if this movie is.
So
I wonder if this movie had an agenda, Charles.
Okay, but you can't tell. They look like men. They look like men. I didn't know why they were in dresses.
I think that's the point, Charles.
Okay, I didn't pick up on that. Okay. It was.
This might be a new segment on the show. Charles is just going to be our movie correspondent. We're going to make him see all of the garbage and have him report back to us. And we will never know if your reporting is accurate or not.
What's going on, boys?
Because I didn't know about it. Hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
My wife is still getting set up, so we're...
Yeah, all good.
All right, she's here now.
Ow! I can't do this.
There's an entire
regular ones.
army. There's an entire army comprised of the third gender in this film, and Charles didn't know it was a woke movie.
What is it?
The Hijira.
There's
the monkey man.
Oh yeah. That weird.
There's an army of transgenders.
Yeah.
And Charles was like, I don't know if this movie was woke or not.
So one of my absolute favorite things that woke people do is they look at a culture, and back in the day there used to be a small percentage of the population, but a population of the percentage of the population that were either eunuchs or were just genetically messed up, such that they were kind of like genetically their gender wasn't clear. And then these societies were kind of like, we should put all of these weird people over here and away from everybody else. And then
it's like a leper colony.
Yeah, literally. And then 200 years later, some leftist sociologist comes in and is like, oh, these people were treated special by the community. And clearly they were revered, and therefore leftist ideology is correct.
It's the Native Americans and their two-spirited transgender stuff is so funny. You're like, they talk about spirits all the time. I'm sure it probably meant that they were of two spirits. Like they liked farming, but then they also liked hunting. And that's probably what it meant by someone being two-spirited.
Two-spirited is even funnier. Do you know when two-spirited was invented?
I know it's recent.
It was like 1991.
Yeah.
It was the first time that anybody ever made up the term two-spirited.
Archaeological evidence of transgenderism. So, Truth Sworn, good evening. Just in time. Just in time.
Buried with the spear.
Just in time for the train talk. There we go.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, apparently, halfway through the movie, he gets saved because he tries to assassinate the guy, and it was a cool fight scene, and it didn't work out though, and he had to flee from the police. Really cool fight scene. And then he gets saved by this third gender community.
Hijima?
And I did not realize that it was that community. They had mentioned it, I think, in the news, how the police were, like I said, the police were brutalizing them and attacking them. And I thought that was a throwaway line. I didn't think they were going to mention it again. And then they saved him. And I didn't pick up on that until just now. So
I just watched Monkey Man and loved the representation of the Hijira, India's third gender people. They were badass.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense because while he was training there, he invited one of the...
There we go. He did admit it on stream.
Are they F to M or M to F? Because I guess if they're fighting, I could get like she-males,
yeah, they were male to pretending to be females.
Okay, that makes more sense. I could buy that.
Originally men.
That's why they were so good at fighting. Because we are better at everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's believable.
So it's based?
Why they would
wait a second.
Fight. Yeah.
Is Monkey Man based? Maybe it is. Maybe Charles was right. Maybe we've misjudged this movie.
Could be.
You guys want to talk about Murderbot?
Yeah, we watched it. We watched the most recent episode this morning. So
Yeah, I watched it last night. It was pretty good.
yeah, I like the show. It's good. I like how it's like 30 minutes, so they don't have time to add fuckery into it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of the just the one joke that was in the last episode, and then they repeated it in this episode. They're like, "Hey, let's give him a penis," and I was like, "Why are we using like it already was like a low tier joke the first time, and now we're repeating the joke."
Oh, yeah.
And there wasn't like they didn't add anything to it. It was just literally repeating the joke. But everything other than that, I've really liked the show.
Yeah.
Well, on the plus side, we're not going to get the joke again.
Yeah. That was great.
That was the best part of the episode.
I strongly disliked her character, and I really liked this episode. So
yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Although I wish she's not the worst character in the show, though. So
No.
Murderbot could do a little bit more cleanup, and I'd be happy with it.
The three lesbians are so identical to one another.
I know.
That I literally like.
It's really hard to tell them apart.
Wait, no.
I thought there was just two.
There's two lesbians and the guy.
No,
there's the
there's
polycule, right? And
bald Asian chick, fat Asian chick, and the white lady.
The one that got eaten by the thing?
The one who got attacked by the monster at the beginning?
Yeah, the one that got attacked by the monster at the beginning, the bald Asian chick, and then
I didn't know she was a lesbian.
I didn't know
it's hard
she
to tell.
was.
They all kind of give up.
Is she not? Okay, she might. Maybe she's not a lesbian, but she is functionally identical.
She's not
to
part of the thruple.
Okay, well, she's functionally identical to the other two in character.
I agree. The Deltfall, not Deltfall chick was a little weird.
Yeah, I think
I didn't mind her. David really liked her character. I just thought that the one joke was really dumb and didn't add anything.
Yeah, and then they
I thought it was. I don't know.
It seemed to like work in context.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they were going to do something original with her.
It also, the reason why it felt that specific joke, the let's put a strap on it, it didn't give her like any reason to be strangely attracted to the Murderbot, and especially with the reveal that she's the bad guy or one of the bad guys. It's like, why? What? I don't understand this weird obsession.
Yeah, I know.
Because I think it's that Alexander Skarsgård is a good-looking dude.
He is.
I don't think it was any more complicated than that.
Was it just to shoehorn in her like the talk about like the difference of living in the corporate worlds versus the hippie planet?
Yeah,
maybe
it was capitalism is bad.
Yeah. I thought it was just because she was. Well, that's not capitalism.
That's my point.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime the left does a capitalism is bad meme, what they show you is not capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Isn't capitalism terrible with everybody living in pods and getting the same food rations?
Steve. Oh, did he? He did. Steve finally finished streaming. Holy cow.
Oh my god. Steve, are you okay?
36 hours later.
Blink once if you're okay.
It looks like a good game. I need to get it. That was good.
No, there was no drag queens in it. Like, there's like woke stuff in it, but in a way that kind of makes fun of it. Like, they're like, okay, it's like a space futuristic things, and there's like the giant corporation worlds, and then there's like they go on space missions, and you can rent a pod from them, but you have to buy the security bot too to go with it, and that's how Murderbot gets involved with it, and then he starts like waking up and becoming sentient and stuff. So
yeah, I wouldn't say it's super woke. It has elements, and even the capitalism is bad thing. It's not necessarily digging at capitalism. It was just saying
it's just like kind of
her society was like compared to the hippie society, and Murderbot thinks they're all weird. They're all insane,
they're all retarded.
Yeah, and that's why I don't mind it, because he's making fun of both of them.
Insane.
it's one of these shows that it is woke, but it's like a 3 on the woke scale. Like it's just keep it at a 3, guys. If you start inching up towards a 6 or a 7, I'm gonna stop watching. But as long as you can keep it at a 3, they're I'll keep it up.
Yeah, well, because even in a show like this, when they have a little bit of that in there, they you'll accidentally get some super based stuff that gets like
I love how like
Murderbot watching the gay couple kiss and then saying, "Oh, I want to puke," and you're like, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's hilarious.
Yeah. Or like how horrible, like how weird and awkward the throuple is. Like every time they try to do something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to portray with that, but it's not what they ended up portraying.
No, it's like completely unsustainable. Like there's no way on earth this relationship can work.
But they have a contract. It's okay.
Steve, we're talking about Murderbot.
Murderbot.
It's, really
it's good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Maybe the most unrealistic thing about this show is that the lesbian couple who brings in a dude, the lesbians staying together and not one of them going off with the guy. Like, let's try and keep it a little honest here, Apple TV. Like, let's not make things up out of full cloth.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of right. It's kind of hard to tell. If it's making fun.
I don't know. I want to watch the fake show. The
Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon. It'd be pretty great.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
That's so funny.
I love how obsessed he is with it. Oh, it's great.
I love that the guy from the Progressive commercials is.
Are you telling me we're going to die because you deleted
that was the best line.
I love how every time we talked about it, people are like, "It's not even a good show."
Yes, it is.
It is an amazing show.
It is an amazing show.
Okay. I think this episode was probably my favorite one. Episode 6, right?
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it accentuated all of the things that I've liked in the show in the past, and got rid of some of the things I didn't like.
Yeah, I'm very fascinated by the whole 30-minute runtime. Like, it's not exactly a comedy. It's not exactly a sitcom. So to have the shorter length, that's kind of different. But it's good.
I think it would benefit from longer episodes. I think.
Oh, I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the show would do with 20 extra minutes?
Yeah.
How much fucking lesbian fingering there would be?
Well, even no. Even that, I think the show length could remain the same, but episodes 1 and 2 should be viewed together, and episodes 3 and 4 are better together as well.
Oh well,
I don't think you need to add any screen time.
We ripped them all off in one session. So.
So it's been a little different from you, but I don't think you need to add any screen time, and just reorganize it. And I think it's better. I think the 20-minute kind of hurts the show a little bit, because you'll get an episode where not a lot happens, and then you got to wait for a week, and you're like, I don't. But
yeah, that's true. I forgot that it is coming out weekly again. So.
I don't think I've heard anyone saying it's not good.
Oh no, we were saying the show the Sanctuary Moon. Every time
the fake show within the show.
Yeah, every time the robot guy brings it up, all the characters. It's so funny too because it's so realistic. Like, that's not a good show.
So it's the Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon is a show within the show Murderbot. Yeah. It's like a. It's like a soap opera with
Star Trek.
It's a Star Trek, but it's clearly more soap opera than Star Trek, Yeah. But it's a soap opera with a Star Trek skin, and that's the joke of the show is that Murderbot is he's kind of becoming more sentient and more independent, and all he wants to do with his spare time is just watch TV, and so he's constantly watching he's watching lots of shows, but his comfort show is the Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon, and it all comes to it's a great payoff in this episode where their spaceship crashed and he had deleted the repair manuals from his databanks so that he could fit in the newest season of Sanctuary Moon. And it was a great gag. We are going to die because he deleted the. That was great.
The manuals for a show. Yeah,
it was quite funny.
Yeah.
I like the way they're developing his. I wouldn't say relationship, but more his rapport with the leader lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the scene where he calms her down was really good too.
Yeah, that was.
It is interesting to see how that's going, and it's like you don't want to like the hippies, but at the same time, it's like, well, if they weren't the hippies, you'd probably be in the dumpster by now. So,
yeah.
Yep. The scene in the last episode where he like pops up and pins the guy against the window when he breaks the paralysis protocol. That was when I was like, dang, this show is genuinely good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he says,
That's
like, I could kill you right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's not a perfect show, but it's
it's a really short like the book is like 3 hours long. And so they're
I don't know.
They're stretching it a little bit, but it's pretty faithful to the book so far. They've added like a character or two and maybe a subplot or two, but they haven't really taken anything away from the book yet.
I know. I'll have to find it.
They're almost done with the plot of the book. So
Uh-oh.
I only got 2 more episodes, so
I think 4.
Dang.
4. Oh, I thought it
It's
was
supposed
8.
to be 10, unless
You're probably right.
Unless they updated it, because apparently I had no idea until this week that A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was pushed back.
Oh my gosh.
I was expecting to watch it tomorrow night.
Oh.
It says here 10 episodes.
Yeah, 10 episodes.
10 episodes, cool. Warner Brothers just being out of money is like leading to some hilarious things. Like,
When did they push Night of the Seven Kingdoms back?
This week. No. I guess people knew last week because I was so excited. I was like, in 2 weeks, we're getting A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And then after my stream, someone said, hey, it's been pushed back. And I was like, screw you.
Pushed back to when, though?
2026.
So it was supposed to air tomorrow night, weekly episodes. It's pushed back to a nebulous 2026.
Oh.
No release date.
That's not a good sign.
Which it seems like a bizarre choice. If Warner Brothers is out of money, why are they pushing it back?
Why not release it? Especially if it was to be released.
It's done.
Tomorrow.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's ready.
Maybe they can't pay for. Oh, but no, it's streaming, so they don't.
So, the consensus is like they're running behind on House of the Dragon season 3, and so they're pushing this back. But like, I feel like this is going to make people more upset. But
yeah, and it's like, why would you not release it if it's done?
I wonder if they didn't have the advertising budget they wanted for it.
Maybe.
I also wonder if they ran test screenings on it and it was.
I know. I'm keep thinking of like, it's bad.
It's my favorite. Have you read the books?
Oh yeah.
I just barely read. I haven't read all 3 of them, but I just read The Hedge Knight, and I loved it. It's
a good story. It's very
beautiful.
interesting.
I loved it.
I liked it. No, don't fuck it up. It's like pretty straight, easy. Should be easy to adapt. It's like basically one storyline. There's all the cool stories that got my boy Bloodraven.
I liked it so much I went and bought all the comic books too.
Yeah, I have like 2 of the comic books. Actually, I got excited because I found them at the used bookstore.
Yeah.
And no, I got one of them at George R. R. Martin's bookstore when I was moving out to Iowa, and the other 2, like I thought, like I didn't know which one I had.
The third one.
I got the first one and the second one. Yeah, I haven't been able to find the third.
The third one only has a hardcover printing.
Okay.
And the first 2 have like 7 different printings.
Dang, yeah.
Wow.
It's probably.
So
I still don't have the Wheel of Time ones either. So
did they just do book 1 or did they do book 2 as well?
The Wheel of Time?
Did they?
The Wheel of Time has they
did New Spring.
New Spring is done. Eye of the World is done. and then they started doing The Great Hunt with the show's release, and they started changing things to be more like the show,
Oh, okay.
and it's gross.
Gross.
Yeah, it's going to be super confusing if you're reading through that comic series because Lan switches to Asian halfway through.
Okay. Well, that made me sad. So thanks for coming on the show today.
You're welcome.
Although a question about that actually, as I'm reading the Wheel of Time, a lot of things do appear Asian. Is that just the placebo effect? Because I know the show makes everything Asian.
No, there's a lot of Asian influence.
There's a lot of Asian stuff. But for an example, like, do you have some examples of what you're talking about?
Well, there's just a lot of names that sound like the kind of Asian names, like the group of people who enslaved the Aes Sedai.
Yeah, Ching Chong Sedai. And,
you're talking about the Shan Shan.
Shan Shan. I don't know. A lot of these words
those
just
are
sound
Texans.
kind of Asian.
The Shan Shan are Texans.
I know they're supposed to be like communist China that talk like Texans.
Yeah. So they're supposed to talk with the Texan accent.
Now that I think about it, I feel like every time I hear the Empress may she live forever, I'll be like, oh, well, bless your heart.
The Empress may she live forever.
Yeah, we do. We probably could. I had it pulled up. We could talk about this. Sarah Nakamura got hired by iWatt Studios as their new creative producer. What is she producing? Who knows?
Question.
Apparently, the video game is real. It's hilarious. Even Daniel Green is saying that this video game is never going to happen.
It's okay. We don't need to ruin or break her heart and ruin her dreams.
Which game is this?
So this was the book expert, who has actually Narg did a really good job of summarizing her career. She was trying to get involved with iWatt since before the show even came out. She was constantly rubbing shoulders from before iWatt existed, when they were still Red Eagle Entertainment. She was constantly volunteering at JordanCon so she could insert herself in the ranks. She was present when they filmed Winter Dragon. She was on set.
Yes. Well, my understanding of this is that she's married to a super rich guy.
Probably, yeah.
And the super rich guy basically pays for her to,
get jobs.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, so now she's a producer in iWatt who currently don't hold the rights. It will revert back to iWatt if Sony gives them up, right?
Yes.
So Amazon has already, we're done. They don't want it anymore. So the rights are back to Sony as producers.
Yes. So Sony will, at some point, the rights will revert back to iWatt.
Presumably, Sony has tried to shop this around already, and no one wanted it.
Correct.
Because we know they are not shopping it around, and they've known the cancellation was coming for 2 years.
Yes.
So it's safe to say that the shopping happened 2 years ago.
Yeah. They had initial conversations, and basically they said, hey, Apple TV, do you want a bad show that's super expensive and nobody watches? And Apple TV went, no, I don't. Thank you.
But 170,000 signatures. Yeah. So at some point, Sony is going to just give up, and the rights will be reverted back to iWatt, and then Sarah Nakamura is going to be in charge of developing whatever is left.
I am absolutely fascinated. I cannot what does this pitch meeting look like? Like, what is she? So we've let her have input on a TV show that lost massive sums of money.
Yeah.
And so basically, they tried to make a Wheel of Time television show into girl shit.
Yeah.
So they are then going to try and take an MMORPG, maybe the one thing that is more boy-oriented than epic fantasy television,
and not base it on the source material, base it on the failed TV show.
Yes, and they're going to try and make that into girl shit. And I'm just,
what would an MMO look like that? You get points for like bringing a new person into the polycule,
right?
Buenas noches, Uriel Ivan Hernandez Prieto. We're ranting. We were talking about Murderbot, and it instantly transitioned into Wheel of Time because Wheel's here.
Yeah, harsh for fair.
I have not seen the trailer for Foundation season 3 yet because I haven't watched any of it. But now that there's a break in our programming, I don't know. Maybe we jump on the Foundation season 3 hype train.
Right.
Maybe I binged 2 seasons so we have something to talk about on the show.
Maybe.
Let's see. Yeah, but how would Sony no one wants the current version of the show. So if Sony holds on to it, they would have to reboot entirely?
Well, they would have to find a distribution partner for it. And Amazon doesn't want it. Warner Brothers is broke. Disney is broke. So it's Netflix or Apple TV. Apple TV is going to say, gross, this is shit. And Netflix is
Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus is also broke.
They're too busy funding 100 Taylor Sheridan TV shows.
Oh my god, he needs to calm down with that. He used to be really good. Like writing it is just like, I don't know, what is he like? Western soap operas now?
Yeah. Do they also have Mobland?
I have not seen it yet. I think that is Paramount Plus. Yeah.
Okay, because I've heard Mobland is great.
I've heard it's great.
Basically, I've heard Paramount Plus is actually making decent stuff, with the exception of Halo.
Yeah. Taylor Sheridan gets her. He has so many shows he's working on at the same time. I don't know. I don't understand how you balance that stuff and maintain quality. Yeah, you're just saying it would be great if they just found someone willing to start from page 1.
So on this Taylor Sheridan
topic, I found the channel. I did not get a chance. I watched the first video that night last week, and I haven't had a chance to go back. But it was Salty Roast was very funny. I haven't had any time this week to watch anything. Mayor of Kingstown. Is that another Guy Ritchie, or is that Taylor Sheridan? That's Taylor Sheridan, isn't it?
It's a Paramount Plus show. I know.
It's on Paramount Plus. I know. Yeah. All I know is 10 years ago there was a YouTuber that got a show on Paramount Plus, and it was hilarious. And I subscribed for a month and then unsubscribed. It was called it was a true crime show where he was just trying to investigate the mystery of his grandfather who disappeared. For heaven's sake.
Oh.
It was really, really good. He's like, I don't know anything about true crime, but my grandfather went missing, and they're comedians, and they're trying to figure it out. It was a really, really good show. If you have a Paramount Plus subscription, check that one out.
So I'm actually starting to wonder something, and this train of thought occurred to me as I was watching Tires.
Season 2, is it good?
I enjoyed it.
Is it good? I've seen clips, and I'm like, ooh, do I need to subscribe to Netflix for a month?
It's another of the 22-minute episode things where I kind of enjoy it.
I don't want any more of that show. I don't like that show. It's just too much for me.
Season 2 is much better than season 1, and it's but I'm just kind of sitting here watching it, and I'm just kind of thinking to myself, if Shane Gillis can write a season of television in what had to have been 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we maybe overestimating how difficult it is to write a TV show?
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
maybe
Tires is a great example of that. That's a really great point. It's literally just him and his friends just improvising crap. And like maybe they sit down for a week, like you said, and like block out, like, hey, like we'll have an episode where we do a bikini car wash, and we'll have an episode where we do this, and this will be the problem. And like half of the stuff is them just making fun of each other,
Yeah. And
and it's extremely popular. It's doing really, really well.
Yeah. And my thing with Taylor Sheridan is maybe Taylor Sheridan isn't doing too much. Like, maybe normal people actually could write 5 seasons of television in a year. And our writers in Hollywood are literally just so stupid that they can't even do one.
Yeah.
Well, we're watching Smallville. It's like, they had a week to produce each episode, and it's like,
yeah. So Fadion is talking about another YouTuber called Salty Roast, and he was active during season 1 of Wheel of Time, but then
is he talking about Salty Traveling Sea?
No, I thought that's what he was talking about at first. No, it's a different one. I watched the first one; it's pretty good.
No, nice.
Salty Roast. Let me pull it up again. I haven't had a chance to watch past, and when you type it into Google, you're going to get a random channel that has it's just a bunch of black dudes. So you have to type in Salty Roast Wheel of Time, and then you'll get the actual YouTube channel. He's only got 400 subscribers.
Okay, he's got the salt shaker on his profile.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, this guy. I got both.
They're pretty funny. Pretty good, pretty accurate takes.
Pink eye of the world.
Let's go.
This looks awesome.
Yeah, he's great. So,
heck yeah.
You've seen him too. Cool. Yeah, salt shaker. Yeah. See if we can. He hasn't been active in 3 years, but he seems like a cool guy.
Cool.
What were we saying? Taylor Sheridan can write stuff.
Yeah, I'm just thinking maybe a person could write 5 seasons if they're not a complete doofus.
I guess if Sanderson can write fast. Now I think it's dropped in quality, but he can still write fast.
I didn't get any responses to my hot take in our group chat, by the way.
What was your hot take?
That you didn't like the First Law? No.
That Sanderson is a more transgressive.
Okay. He's more transgressive than Joe Abercrombie.
Joe
Abercrombie.
Okay, I guess it's been a while since I read First Law, but I recently read the other one that's getting adapted, and I liked it. So I don't understand what your bone is with Joe Abercrombie. You didn't like Glocta defending an undefendable city in book 2? That was fun.
Ish. My issue with Glocta is Glocta never gets punched in the face.
It would probably kill him.
Well, that's kind of part of my issue with the character is that he, I'm not going to say he never faces consequences for his bad choices, but
Mark Clark didn't like the Devils. Yeah, I've heard it's hit or miss. You either hate it or it's your favorite book ever. But it's getting adapted by friggin' Avatar.
James Cameron of all
James
people.
Cameron,
which is bizarre.
And I've heard nothing but mixed. I've heard no one say it was okay. It's either I extremely didn't like it or it's the best book I've ever read. There's no. He's like Jesus. Joe Abercrombie would have you hot or cold, but there will be no lukewarm reviews of the Devils.
Now, is that a standalone one? Could I just
standalone?
Start that? Okay.
It's a like a
then.
Victorian Suicide Squad alternate history Earth.
That sounds fucking terrible.
I know. And I'm thinking
Sorry,
about it.
that was-
I'm like, oh, is it Wax and Rain again? Oh God.
Sorry, that was my one.
Funny. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, Mark Clark didn't like it. Mark Clark has pretty good taste.
Yeah, I'm with Mark. I
Except-
tried to read it,
except-
I'm like, no.
Except that he doesn't like 2001: A Space Odyssey. So
It's a cool movie, but it's boring.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say Nathan, Madam Anotherin has similarly strong opinions about that movie,
I know.
and I will say if you don't understand kind of the cultural significance of that movie,
Mhm.
I can see how you would think that movie is the worst movie of all time.
Maybe.
Yeah, you have to understand the context.
Maybe
It's
I am
still-
thinking of Man of Manetheren. Maybe it's not Mark Clark. Mark Clark. There's another book that I love that Mark Clark hates. It
Nope,
might not be 2001.
I think 2020 to 2001 is the Advil
Okay.
PM of
Yeah.
movies.
All right. See, I knew you also didn't like it,
Swear jar.
but yeah, Man of Manetheren has frequently popped onto my streams to tell me that 2001 sucks.
Tell you what, Alan, I think Mark Clark makes a good point here. You should just keep track of my swearing, and at the end of the show, I will send you a super chat for $1 for each one. How about that?
Okay, got it.
Like starting now, or
Yes, starting now.
Starting
Starting
now.
now. Okay.
I don't think
Sounds good.
I could afford it if we were to enforce this retroactively.
How much per swear? Is it $1 per
Just
swear?
$1. Just $1.
Okay.
I'm trying to curb a habit, not send Alan's kids to college. Like, let's.
So you guys came to talk about Murderbot, and I think we moved on too soon, though. There's 4 episodes left. Where do you guys think it's going? Because I already know. I know the book, so it's not fair for me to participate.
Well, they could add more to the books. I haven't read the books either, but you say it's almost done. That doesn't necessarily mean that they would. They could add more. They could add filler.
They could
go
also
beyond the book.
start.
They could
They could start the setup for
Yeah.
book 2 as well.
start the setup for book 2. So I was gonna say.
is there multiple books or just one?
Oh yeah. There's several of them, and most of them are novellas. But she started making them longer. I think 2 of them are full length books. The rest are novellas.
So my prediction:
Yeah.
the evil corporation sends more security bots to get the team, and the team has to retreat in and use the alien technology to defeat the overwhelming forces of the evil corporation.
It's probably something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get the feeling that there's still somebody on the planet. They obviously have to leave the planet.
Yeah.
Richard K. Morgan.
I think-
did Altered Carbon.
Oh yeah,
There's
Altered
definitely-
Carbon is really good. The show, the first season is good, not the second season.
He murders
He
other
murders-
bots.
There's definitely going to be something where he almost kills the hippies. Obviously, he's especially with the ending of this latest
He
episode.
liked killing.
He liked
liked
it,
killing
but
her?
I'm kind of like curious because he talks about like, okay, you just had this emotional experience because it's like dopamine or something like that, and I'm like, I don't think he had that because he's a robot. So how could he like killing somebody? Just not getting the hit.
Well,
Yeah, I don't
if
know.
there's a
How
part
does he
of
like
his
TV shows if he doesn't
I don't
have
know.
dopamine either?
That's a good point.
I don't know.
See what it goes into the.
I don't know. I'm willing to
I don't know.
suspend my
I'll have to
disbelief.
go
I
into
really
the-
like robot stuff, so it's like.
well, I
You
could
don't
see
like
if you're
robot stuff?
dealing.
No, I said I like robot stuff,
Oh,
so I
okay.
start thinking about this. And when I was in screenwriting class, it's like that was something I was thinking about, and so I was like, my teacher for that was always asking me all these questions like this and that, and then I started thinking about like what directions you could take that, and that's sort of like I feel like a lot of people lean into like becoming human or what if, and I'm more thinking like when I was writing, it's like okay, they can act like they're human, but you're always going to be stuck in your programming. So maybe the like horror is the programming, but that's not what Murderbot's about. That's just me.
So I think there's always, and I always find it fascinating because
Steve, Fabian really wants you to watch Salty Roast. Okay, just in case you're wondering.
you know, when you talk about robots in science fiction, the comparison is always to, you know, God created humans, humans created robots. You know, God created the dopamine sensors in your brain to encourage you to do things. Why, if a human is a god who made a robot, would you not program things in the robot to make it happy if it completed its tasks? I don't know.
But see, I agree. However, there's nothing in his programming that would have him enjoy Sanctuary Moon. Like, that is obscure. That is clearly a new thing. That the
I don't know if the novels ever explore that,
intend.
like the nature of, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably dip their toes in. I like it when artificial intelligence consciousness. I like it when that debate leans away from the humans as their creators and more as like more into both humans and robots are like merging into a universal truth. Of where consciousness comes from. I think that's a more interesting
or like
discussion to play around with. Like, hey, we've started creating artificial intelligences, and it becomes something more sentient because we're like slowly understanding where our consciousness comes from too, and it's mimicking. Like, we're not so different after all. Like, I think that's the more interesting.
Yeah, I think that's interesting too.
Sci-fi
or like
take, you know?
In like Westworld, like
kind of something
at
like
the end of the first season. Because I didn't really watch the second one.
I don't think
really
anyone watched
studied the
past
first
season
Yeah,
one.
the really first season when Maeve is like, she's thinking she's breaking out of the program, and then when she saved her daughter, like she's reading the thing, and it's like you think you're making your own choices, but it's showing the little progression of what's being decided. So it's like, no, this is actually your programming, which makes you think like, okay, is it sort of like we're living in a matrix or something like that, or we're all in a computer program idea of the universe. It's just interesting.
Or like you know, the way that we are, or subconsciously the way that we are programming robots is because of how we're programmed too. So they
that too.
They have similarities, right?
Hi, are we just gonna ignore Jared or say hi?
Jared's here.
Hey, Jared.
Hey guys.
Hey. I didn't want to interrupt you though.
No,
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt either.
Mark Clark says to also read Martha Wells' City of Bones. She's got standalone novels that aren't just Murderbot. But yeah, I've only read the first two Murderbots. I really like them. I intend to keep reading, but I'm reading other stuff right now.
I'll have to see if it's up.
Is it
I'm gonna look.
I don't know if this counts as one of my swears because it's a proper noun.
Okay.
But on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of like shit livery, where is the Murderbot books?
Okay, what's shit livery? What's the term?
Livery, like a shit lib.
Oh, where's the author?
Where's the book?
It's not.
Okay, because what I read the back of this book and it's like, oh, it's about this neurodivergent robot who loves to watch television.
Is that what it says on the back of the book?
On some of them, yes. This is advertised as the world's worst book, and it's probably one of the reasons why I've never picked it up, because like the back blurb is awful.
On City of Bones or Murderbot?
Murderbot.
Okay. Yeah, that's not the author has I did a video on this. The author has said that's not the case. Like everyone is pushing it as, oh, she wrote the robot to be neurodivergent and it's great representation, and you're like, no, she's given an interview. It's the other way around. She wrote a story about a robot and then retroactively realized that robot has a lot in common with neurodivergent people because it's a robot, so naturally it diverges from the normal neural network. And she realized, that she's probably slightly on the autism spectrum because she's really good at writing this robot and thinking differently from normal humans and processing information the way a robot would instead of a neurodivergent person, a neurotypical person. She literally, she's not saying, I wrote a gay robot. She's saying, I wrote a robot and then realized something about myself, that I'm kind of robotic too.
Okay. Well, that is really encouraging.
There is a group of psychos who are pushing it like, oh, it's just like me. And you're like, I don't think that's the best comparison, you know? Like you're celebrating all of the bad things about you, you know?
What is the joke about the current LLMs? The computer programmers managed to make a computer program that talks like a middle manager, and instead of concluding that middle managers aren't human, they concluded that their LLM is human. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. What you said reminded me of that, but I'm also feeling like an idiot because I watched that video of yours and I greatly enjoyed it. Your Murderbot video.
Yeah.
But speaking of great videos, your one this week was an absolute banger.
And I forgot. I had like 3 hours to make that. I was on vacation 2 weeks ago. I came home. I had like 3 hours on Saturday to make it, and then I was gone all this week too. So I forgot half of the stuff. I forgot to put black Avienda in the video, which is probably one of the most woke decisions they made.
I was thinking the one you missed that was really good was, it would be Daniel Green saying, it's not woke. And then it would be Daniel Green saying, yes, there is a little bit of pandering. And I don't think anybody enjoyed that.
Yeah, but his next sentence was, pandering does not equal woke. And my response to that is, gee, I wonder if I started pandering to Hitler, would people call me a Nazi?
Yep.
If you are pandering to woke ideologies, it's because it's woke.
Yeah, that's for any group though. If you pander to Christians, they'll call you a Christian nationalist. If you pander to a group, they're gonna.
I wonder if the Sound of Freedom was pandering to Christians. Oh, it's not a Christian movie. It's just pandering to them, guys.
Wow.
Yeah. You guys are talking about your Daniel Green video where he was claiming it wasn't woke.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I forgot half the stuff because it was just there's so much. It's every second of that show you can find an example, and I couldn't include all of them.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder if the Left Behind movies are Christian.
Look, they're not Christian.
I wonder if The Passion of the Christ is a Christian movie. It's not. It just panders to Christians, guys.
It just
I don't know. If you ask Mel Gibson, he might tell you that it's not a Christian movie. It's an other religion movie.
It's an anti-Semitic movie.
It really just comes down to how you pitch it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that the hoops that he has to jump through to intentionally bury his head in the sand, you know?
Yeah.
And I've talked to Daniel Green in person. We had a really good conversation in person. But then it's tough.
Well, that's the thing though, Alan. I watched that video and I actually appreciate with that video. Obviously, when at that point when he started talking about how it wasn't so woke, I was a little bit like, okay, I don't think I totally agree with him. But the rest of that video though is like, it's a lot of him saying, look, like Amazon tried to get me to they tried to write me off. They tried to say, hey, or not to write him off, but they tried to basically, control what he was saying and what he was putting out on his videos. And
for season 1, they did.
And he was like, I did for a little bit, and then I realized that was stupid, and so I stopped, and so I just want to put it out there that like I thought that video was, most of it was pretty good, except for the part where I was like, okay, I don't agree that
except the second half of it where he just starts laying into one of his channel members.
Oh yeah, about the comment.
Yeah.
Oh
yes. I also maintain there is nothing on earth funnier than Daniel Green making the argument that he is a principled individual in light of the events of the last 6 months that have emerged.
And I am not being performative while he's juggling, you know.
What was that video? It was like a cry for help or something. Like, bro, what?
I do agree somewhat with what Jared is saying. Like, the first half of his video isn't terrible. The problem is that would have worked if it was anyone other than Daniel Green. The problem is he made his name on the Wheel of Time. He's the reason I read the books, and he was he was the Wheel of Time YouTube guy, and he absolutely had a non-disparagement clause for season 1, and it wasn't until well into season 2 that he started criticizing season 1, and he put those examples in his video. He has criticized the show.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He has criticized it. The problem is he never came out and said, I was wrong.
Yep.
And that's
he continues to speak out of honestly, both sides of his mouth.
All he has to do. Look, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I pushed the show so hard. I shouldn't have done that.
Well, but I think there's a lot that we learned, all of us, from season 1. You know,
right.
like we went in there too, you know, trying to play both sides.
We were super positive.
Yeah, and so I think like, and it was definitely a little bit more evident where he was saying things that were very contrary to what were, you know, being shown in the TV show. But
but
I think though, like it was still a new thing. We were trying to get people hyped. You know,
the problem was that I don't care that he's just he has milquetoast tastes, right? And that he can enjoy some of it and dislike some of it. The problem was he was literally under contract to only praise season 1, and he was billed as, you know, he was the Wheel of Time YouTube guy. He got everyone to watch the show, and then didn't come clean and say, hey guys, I've been lying to you this whole time.
Do you remember the "You're a Racist" video?
Yes.
I mean, when he came out and said,
when he told all Christians to go F themselves, yeah.
Oh no, you're talking about the anti-Christian Daniel Green video.
Sorry.
No, I'm talking about the if you think that the Wheel of Time
casting
is you know, all you know, homogeneous ethnicities, you're wrong and you're a racist.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
That was one of the wildest videos.
Wasn't that a collaboration with him and
Matt Hatch?
Matt Hatch, yeah.
Yes. So even before the show came out, Daniel Green launching an offensive, like an attack
campaign,
on people.
They worked together. I haven't seen the actual video because I have heard all of the arguments outside of it, you know. But it was them working together to preempt any arguments that people had against the diverse casting of Emmons Field.
Oh my god!
And it was just straight up lying.
Yes.
I mean, this is all it was. Like, there was no good faith interpretation of that came to the conclusions they did. It was utterly ideologically motivated and Amazon paying the bills motivated nonsense.
Right. And I would respect them more if they just came out and said, hey, we're making the show for a modern audience, and so we decided to diversify Emmons Field. Instead of saying, no, look, it's actually book accurate that after the centuries, after Manetheren, that it would be a hodgepodge. It would be a hodgepodge of colors, and it's completely book accurate. Promised us, we did the research. Even though the books literally say they all looked the same, and Rand looked like an outsider because he was tall
and red hair, yeah.
And pale.
I think that kind of implies that the rest of the village maybe looked the same. You know,
I mean, we also have Robert Jordan saying these are who I would cast for these roles, and hey, they're all white. Like, so.
Or who even cared? Like, Make the whole town Mexicans. I don't care.
Genuinely, if they had made the whole town Mexican,
It would
that
have been
would
better.
have made
It would have been
more
a better
sense.
choice. And then
Make it all like it doesn't matter what race they are. They should just all look alike, and he's different. Like how
Yeah.
hard is it?
Sure.
The only issue is you would have had to work really hard to find a square-shaped Mexican for Parent.
yeah,
But
that's true. Yeah, on Beltane they could have mole. That'd be great.
that'd be dope.
I'm really
That would
actually
be cool.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
This is gonna go back to. Were you there when we were fawning over the House of David? And just comparing that cast to the Wheel of Time, saying like every person in that show should have been cast in the Wheel of Time, and I was like, heck, I'd even take a Jewish Rand because the actor is so good, you know, like.
Heck yes.
Call the acting. Just, I don't know.
He was great.
Instead, I'm sitting here wondering if Marcus Rutherford knows how to read.
Yeah. And what did you think? Cast the guy as from Cobra Kai as Matt.
Cobra Kai.
Which
Who's the main guy? Which guy?
Oh, the
Miguel.
Mexican?
Oh,
he's
Miguel?
he's good. He's good. So I don't know. Hey, Jared, did you have anything to say about Murderbot? We kind of already talked about it, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been enjoying it. I still don't like that they're so short. Like every time I'm like, okay, great, I'm getting into it, and then I'm
see,
like,
these
okay,
guys just got to
great.
binge the whole season. They haven't experienced.
Yeah, so I could see that because I felt the same by watching this last episode. Like I wanted to like know more. Like it's just almost not enough.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with the girl being evil, that was kind of obvious, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
like,
hinted
as
at
soon
it.
as she
They
came out and pushed out, I was
strongly
like,
implied
oh,
it
she's-
the last
she's
episode.
definitely-
They literally have a conversation where he says, "You would just let anyone in." Hint, hint, wink,
there
wink, nudge,
was a lot
nudge.
of stuff like that where
Yeah.
they were hinting at. I was like, oh, she's totally not what they think they are, and she's gonna try to kill him or whatever.
Yeah, I found
So
her
that was
reveal
pretty
slightly
obvious,
underwhelming, but
But I mean, I thought it was still great though how they literally just like he gets back and just shoots her head off, and you're just like,
It was amazing.
and
Yeah.
I think it is interesting too. Like, just I mean, it was definitely gory and whatnot, which was a little off-putting just because of the gore, but like it was okay. But the other part though about that I thought was interesting is their reaction, right? Like the
Yeah,
She was
they're-
gonna tell us everything.
yeah, and he as a robot like recognizes it, right? He's like,
It's like,
hey,
oh yeah.
you're celebrating.
they should be cheering for me. I
Like,
saved their lives, and they're all
I just-
covered in
I just
blood
saved
and
them.
clearly in shell shock. Yeah, I really like that scene.
In Sanctuary Moon, when somebody saves the day, they celebrate.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I really like those little things where you're like, okay, I love how he keeps referencing back.
Also,
the-
his delivery of that line is like, "You could have killed me. There was a possibility, but it did not happen."
Yeah, right. Like,
You're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's great."
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's been really good. But yeah, each episode's so short, and it's hard. It's hard to just be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to wait a whole nother week for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's weird because I've always said like, can we stop doing 5-episode seasons? But I think the show would be better if it was 5 episodes long and the episodes were twice as long.
And they were longer, yeah. The other part too,
Especially
though, I
if
thought
the
was
if the
interesting
source material is a 3-hour book, it maybe your first season can be 5 episodes, and then your future seasons can be longer.
yeah, I agree. I haven't read the book.
We
or
adapt the
material,
first 2 seasons, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah,
but yeah, I've been enjoying it, and I think
I mean,
this
the first 2
episode was
books.
good, So
Yeah. It's fun. I like the show a lot. William, you said I should watch KGF if
Yes.
we liked RRR.
Yes.
Just
Oh, yeah,
just the second movie because there are 3 of them.
I didn't know there was a KGF 3.
There's 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah.
There's not. I'm not seeing a year underneath KGF.
Oh, maybe it's
3.
being made.
Are you looking at? I guess you have to watch Bahubali too.
Okay, yeah, it's not out yet. But is 1 worth watching, or should I just skip to 2?
1 is okay. 2 is
Okay.
actually pretty fun.
I'll have to check it out.
There's some moments in the second one where, obviously, like maybe the most hype moment in movies of all time is when like Gandalf shows up at the top of the ridge in Helm's Deep. Like, there are a couple of moments that I was like, "This is 50% to that feeling that I have in my chest." Like,
Yeah.
So another incredibly based movie where the evil government of India is once again trying to step on the.
I like that it's always the government that's the bad guy in these Indian movies.
Let's go. Yeah, we need to stop like this CIA propaganda in American movies. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. I got to look into chapter 3 now.
It's not out yet. It's being made. Yeah, I'll check it out because I loved RRR. Literally just yesterday I recommended it to our uncle who hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, gotcha. Might start filming only in 2028 for a release in 2029.
Ooh, they're not filming until 28. Wow.
It might start filming, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
apparently there's another sort of spin-off series with this actor. Like, apparently he's playing like 2 roles in the Indian MCU.
Yeah, he looks like Wolverine there.
Some of their action movies get too ridiculous.
Yeah, they get stupid, and then it's like there's a musical number in the middle of it for no reason. What was that one that we saw?
It worked in RRR though, so
it did in that, but like we
great.
saw another one that was like, what was that movie?
We watched a couple of them.
I believe it was a Slumdog Millionaire.
No, it was not Slumdog Millionaire.
It was a straight up like Indian language thing that was.
Which will come first, Hedge Knight or KFG3? KGF3.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm severely disappointed. But hey, maybe it means we're gonna watch Mobland sooner than later.
There you go. I need to watch Mobland. Everybody who's watched it says it's incredible.
Jared, you weren't here when they brought up Foundation. You've watched that show, right? Or no?
Yeah, I actually think that it's
season 3 is going to be dropping soon. That might be a replacement for our programming.
Okay, so you're gonna.
I know
watch
Mark
it?
Clark does not like Foundation either. So
Is that like the science fiction trilogy? Who wrote that?
it's Isaac Asimov, and
Yeah, that's what I
I've
thought.
refused to watch it up until this point because the point of it's they kind of did a Wheel of Time thing. Just by watching the trailer, I knew, yikes, this is not going to be book accurate. But I've heard people who haven't read the book still like the show, so maybe there's some. If we can get past its complete unfaithfulness, the point of the series is there's a thing called psychohistory, which it's like science can tell the future by studying group psychology and history together. So a scientist predicts that the entire government, the entire empire is going to collapse, and he takes measures to help mankind recover from that collapse as fast as possible. So if it collapses naturally, then the entire universe is going to enter dark ages for a really long time. But he makes changes so that it's only like 100 years they can recover. And the reason he's able to do it is because the point of the books is that like free will doesn't exist. Basically, the scientist Harry Seldon believes that no individual can ever make a difference because his firm beliefs in group psychology. He's able to make
terrifying.
He's able to make these extremely accurate predictions of what's going to happen in the future, and he's right all the time. I haven't finished the series, right? I've read the first book. So maybe he's wrong in the future, but as of now, his belief is that humans can't make a difference. That's like the whole point of the first book, is that there's people keep trying to, hey, I'm going to save the day, and the twist is my plan is do nothing because no one can make a difference.
Well, but and Alan, and just watching the first season so far,
Can I finish my thought in 1 second though? Because when I watched the trailer for season 1, there's a line in the trailer where a girl says, Harry Seldon believed that one person could change the world. And I was like, nope, no.
That's not.
Whether or not that's
not it.
the
That
through
ain't
line
it.
for the whole season, go ahead and continue. But that's why I'm like, that you would have believed. No. Now, tell me about season 1.
Because thinking about it, like, because there, like in the first couple episodes, there's definitely this sort of idea that there's this one really smart girl and she basically figured out the answer to the problem or whatever.
That's supposed to be a man, by the way.
But the rest of the season, it seems like it's kind of going towards like there's no one person that. I mean, there's one particular. And I haven't finished it. I kind of kind of wandered onto some other things.
I've heard that the guy who plays the Emperor is fantic and his performance is great.
It's the guy that's in.
I forget his name.
Saving Puppy. No. He's
Lee Child, not Lee Child. Lee Pace.
Oh, Lee Pace is such a
he's
good actor.
great.
Not the guy who wrote the Reacher books.
Speaking
he's
of
so good, like he's such a good actor.
He's a great actor.
Speaking
and
of
it's
Lee,
crazy too because it's basically like a clone of him that like as the Emperor they keep cloning him.
Yes.
And so like they kill off one guy and he gets older and then like it just is him over and over and over again. I'm like, yes, like give me more.
Oh, there we go. That's a good zinger. If the Empire collapses, we can't count on Jared to repopulate it.
What?
It's a running joke that Jared still hasn't given his mom grandkids. So,
you guys all you guys are all brothers, right?
Cousins. Well, Charles is David and Charles are my brothers. Jared is my cousin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
speaking of Lee Pace, has anybody seen *Halt and Catch Fire*?
I've seen some of
Wait. I think I have.
Okay, because this is one of those shows that for me, like the first.
Yeah, it was on HBO. Like,
was it HBO or AMC? Like,
AMC.
The first season of *Halt and Catch Fire* is one of the greatest seasons of television of all time, and it also breaks like every single rule of writing with how it ended, and it's just outstanding. So if you get a chance, that's worth a watch. The chick from the
is it a period piece from the 80s?
Yes, it's about computers.
Oh, okay.
Who is the chick from the newest Transformers movie is in it?
Transformers.
Or not Transformers, Terminator. Mackenzie
Davis?
That's the one.
I haven't seen anything past T2.
Really, man, good for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was at AMC.
Yep, it was phenomenal.
I've heard of it, so it ringed a bell, but I have not watched it.
*Halt and Catch Fire*.
It's on Roku for free right now. So
nice.
What's our schedule look like, Alan, for the next?
It's just Murderbot because Night of the Seven Kingdoms is gone. But I've been told we need to watch Mobland. That's on Paramount Plus. We might do that. But if people say that Foundation is good, I might be able to overcome my book bias and watch because I do really like Lee Pace and the actors seem good. Season 3 is about
we can try watching the first 2 seasons. When does season 3 of Foundation drop?
I saw they made an announcement. They don't have a release date for season 4, but they announced that it's going to be based on one of the books with a train on the cover. I can't remember which one that is. Yep. Season 1 was boring. I know Mark Clark hated it.
Wait, the Bear's coming up, right? Like
the Bear drops soon too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want that show to be good.
The Bear season 4 drops June 25th, but they're dropping the entire season.
Boom.
Oh, I'm gonna not do anything that. Wait, 25th?
No, 25th of June.
Oh man, I got work off that day. All right, we're gonna binge. Woo!
No, I know that's the problem. It's not going to help our programming because Jared's going to watch the entire thing in one go.
I want to see if it's good. If
I don't
it's
know
like,
how you could watch the entire thing in one go. I would
Oh,
I'd
man.
watch the first episode. I'd fall asleep for 4 hours. I'd wake up. I'd have to rewind back to episode 2 because my TV would keep playing. Then I'd get to like the middle of episode 3 and I'd fall asleep again. And
how could you fall asleep? They're freaking screaming at each other for most of it.
Season 3 didn't have it. Like that was
they're always screaming at each other.
Yeah, so it kind of becomes
white
the new
noise,
baseline.
and you.
Oh
Yeah,
they can't really continue an arc.
I've only seen the first episode. I don't know if I could get into the show. It looks
Charles,
interesting.
it's so good.
It's really,
so
really intense.
It's one of those things that because everything we get is so formulaic.
Yeah,
the bear is at least unique.
I
wouldn't, Charles, you just gotta
I wouldn't call it a breath of fresh air, but it's definitely unique.
It's
kind of a breath of depressing air.
There's a saying in writing basically, and it's longer, but it functionally translates to, every character believes that what they're doing is the most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
And you absolutely believe that every single character in The Bear believes that what they are doing at that moment is the most important thing in the world. If this Italian beef sandwich is not perfect, an asteroid is going to wipe out the world.
Well, even like the side characters who get no screen time, like they're incredibly interesting.
Yeah. They're. Like
his dumb cousin who fixes all the electrical issues is fantastic.
Yeah.
He wasn't a YouTuber. He was like he was a chef.
I don't know.
He would do cooking shows on YouTube.
The
guy with all the tattoos, the dumb guy.
Not in the
fixes
show.
all their wiring.
He's just
no. The cousin Richie is an actor. I thought.
Yeah, he's an actor.
But the other cousin that's the other problem with the show is that it's a very messy family situation. Like there's a couple of them that they call cousins that I'm like, I don't think you guys are even related. Like
found family, guys.
Yep.
Hail Justin Hancock. How's it going?
Justin. But yeah, so that
it's another show that it's a 30-minute drama, which it works because like the first season is so intense. I wouldn't want to watch that for more than 30 minutes, which is interesting. However, it slows down in season 2 and then crawls in season 3, and it's like the 30-minute format I don't really think works to like build the drama because it's not long enough to expound on anything, and I don't know.
Mark Clark.
Are you showing off, maybe?
Yeah. It's worth watching, I think. I mean, I don't know. I love The Bear.
It's addicting. It's addicting. I
can chop onions better from watching that show.
Yeah.
I thought about making like YouTube videos of making all the food in there.
Right, like it's kind of got the same effect as watching the British Bake Off, right? Like after watching it, you're like, I am gonna go make a souffle, right? Like, I'm gonna go.
And then I'm gonna yell.
I have mastered like chicken piccata, like that is my thing now. I did make Italian beef. It's like a 2-day process. It is very intense, but it was good. And I learned how to cut onions better. I do have the Noma Guide to Fermentation. So I was actually tried when I first got that book, doing that plum thing that the baker guy does. Fermenting the plums.
The 9 plums or the
I do want to attempt 7 fishes at some point in my life, but
yeah, that would be really fun. But I don't know anyone that likes fish. That's not my family that lives in California. George, can you move your tail, please? Thanks. That's weird.
I was actually super impressed. He just jumped through a hole that was like this big. I was
that's
pretty.
Yeah, he's a good boy. Lord Captain Commander there.
I'm trying to think what else is going soon.
How far did you get on Clarkson Farms?
I'm on season 3. I haven't watched anything this week. I've been with my family. And I managed to sneak in 1 episode of season 3. I think I'm on episode 3.
That's good because they just came out. They just finished 4. So
yeah, I heard season 4 just ended, and
yeah,
people liked it. And he was, he was making fun of some politicians again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People were confused by it. That show.
Yeah, I started the first.
If you don't already hate the government, watch Clarkson's Farm, and you're like, okay.
So I don't want to get more.
I just became a libertarian.
That's I started the first episode, and it looks good, but for some reason I thought it was going to be like The Office, like a workplace comedy.
No.
I was not expecting.
Well, I mean,
it
kind
to be
of,
like a
because
documentary
he's
sort of thing.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But it looks good. I got to give it a second try. But I don't remember why I stopped.
I started it. I was on vacation and just like watched one episode every night before going to sleep, and then I got home and binged season 2 in a day. It's very good.
It's just so
Jeremy Clarkson is very entertaining.
He really is, because he's such a buffoon. Like he's got really good intentions. I really appreciate his intentions.
Right.
But because he's a movie star,
he knows how to play to the audience. He knows how to make himself the butt of the joke, and he's really good at it.
He's really good at it. He's really good.
Did you guys see this? There's some really funny stuff. Apparently the plane stunt, not the part where he was parachuting, where he was obviously wearing a parachute, but when he was jumping between airplanes, he wasn't allowed to wear a parachute because it would have killed him.
That's crazy, really.
Is this going to be like the last Mission Impossible, or do they just keep saying that?
No,
Apparently.
This is supposedly the last one. Tom Cruise now looks like a 65-year-old lesbian. So
yeah, don't get Mark Clark 199. Don't count this towards the Gen Z Bible goal. Okay.
So the last Mission Impossible movie. Are we all in agreement that the emphasis on the jump scene was ruined by being too meta?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I liked watching the behind the scenes footage of that scene more than the actual scene. And what we discovered is, in talking it out, the problem with that scene is it is absolutely the most dangerous stunt that Tom Cruise has done in his life, but it's not the most dangerous thing his character has done in the movies.
Not in the top 10.
And it was billed and in the context of the movie, it was built up like it was the most dangerous thing he's ever done. And you're like, you were climbing the Burj Khalifa, and you had one hand on the that was way worse than this, And so that was the problem. Extremely impressive in real life. Holy cow! I'm so happy he did this. But in the context of the movie, it wasn't very exciting.
Oh, was that the motorcycle thing?
Yeah, the jumping off. He just jumped off a cliff with a motorcycle.
Yeah,
which is, if you think about it in real life, horrifying. But compared to the things that he's already done in movies, yeah.
I was gonna say, side characters in Fast and the Furious do that exact stunt all the time.
Yeah. But watching the behind the scenes footage is fantastic.
And doing it how many times did he end up?
He practiced it hundreds of times.
Yeah,
I think they got it in the first shot though. But
yeah.
Not compared to the lighting his own parachute on fire in this movie, which he did 16 times.
Yeah. So again, that's basically one of the reasons why I try not to get super excited about Tom Cruise doing cool stunts.
He did some really cool stunts in this one.
I don't know. The movie itself, I didn't think was that great.
I didn't.
I'll be right back,
this. I had actually big problems with this newest movie, but the stunts were amazing.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. My issue with this one seems to be the AI is both massively intelligent and massively idiotic. That was one of my huge issues with the first movie.
Yeah.
And you can't build on a foundation of sand, so I can't expect the second one to be good. The most interesting part of the first one, at least the coolest thing that they did with the AI, was the very beginning of the first of that movie, where he was erasing people from cameras in doing it live, and they're everyone was just in chaos and they didn't know what was real and what was fake. That was the coolest part of the AI exploration, and then the rest of the movie was wait, I thought the AI was supposed to be more scary than it was.
I hard agree. And they tone it down in this one because everyone had a bad reaction in the first one, and
the women characters are annoying too.
Yeah.
Just too many women.
Is he going to do a stunt as Lex Grossman? I don't know.
God, I hope so.
You heard he's in talks to do some kind of spin-off, right? With Ben Stiller?
Sure he is.
Spin-off of
they announced it. They're like, he's
Tropic Thunder.
Oh God.
Tropic Thunder spin-off.
I've never seen that movie, which is horrible.
You have to watch Tropic Thunder.
Pretty funny.
It's so good.
He's only in it for a scene. It's the best. In a very funny movie, that is the funniest scene.
It's a very good movie.
Maybe we'll watch that tomorrow.
Yeah.
They also announced Spaceballs 2.
What?
Saw that.
Which I was excited for, and it was kind of clever. They did a play on the opening scene where the ship goes forever, but this time it's the opening
36
credits.
MCU movies.
And they're making some good jokes. They're making fun of all of the stupid Hollywood movies. There's been all this, but there's only been one Spaceballs until now. And then actually I'm gonna share the audio for this. This one? Share. Mel Gibson talks in it. So, can you guys hear that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
After 40 years, we asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie. May the Schwartz be with you.
Okay. We should probably talk about Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Would it be incorrect to say that Mel Brooks has lost his fastball?
Well, he can't stand up.
Well, his movies have also been poor recently.
What movies? He hasn't made a movie in 30 years.
Well, his TV show he did.
That's the thing. I got excited because I was like, hey, these jokes are actually good. And then it turns out Mel Gibson is an executive producer. He's going to be playing Yogurt, but it's Josh Gad doing the writing and directing. And Josh Gad is starring in the movie. And he was also the main driving force behind History of the World Part 2. And that wasn't very good. Granted, he wasn't the worst part of that. Wanda Sykes was the reason that show sucked.
Yeah, that was weird with Wanda.
There were some good sketches, but overall it was a bad experience.
Get smart.
Okay, so if we're looking at Mel Brooks's IMDb here,
Mel Gibson?
Mel Brooks, sorry. Does anybody remember Get Smart?
Oh yeah, I love Get Smart.
Yeah, he did the TV show. The movie wasn't. I mean, he's an executive producer.
He was a writer for it.
Movie. That's the problem. Is he's billed as a writer because he created the characters. The TV show is hilarious, and
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be the same problem with Spaceballs. Is he's not actually doing any of the writing. He's just attached in name only, just like Sanderson was attached to Wheel of Time, and it's going to be a Josh Gad movie, and it's probably not going to be very good, and I'm sad.
Okay, I'm.
Yes, he is billed as a writer for Get Smart, the movie.
There's a long history of people who were good pre-2016.
Yeah.
But
he's been retired this whole time.
Okay, which is fair. This is one of those things that I always hesitate to say, well, somebody did something good in 1974.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So, all right, fair enough.
But I think the last movie he made was probably, was it Robin Hood Men in Tights? Where is his discography?
Robin Hood Men in Tights was 1993.
As a producer.
Dracula Dead and Loving It happened after that. Yeah, that was his last movie, basically.
Wasn't that ass?
I liked it as a kid.
Okay.
But it's not his best one. There are some really good jokes in it.
Okay.
It leaned more into. I mean, it's Leslie Nielsen as Dracula. It's entertaining. It kind of leaned more into the raunchy side, but there are some genuinely good jokes.
Okay.
It's no Young Frankenstein.
Oh, actually,
But I loved Men in Tights. I think that's one of his best films.
Yeah.
Bringing up
Fantastic.
Frankenstein, actually, they are. I think it's Netflix that is doing a new Frankenstein show.
It's a Guillermo del
Guillermo
Del Toro.
Toro. Yeah.
Guillermo.
Throw
Del
away your Mexican card. You can't say Guillermo.
They did an entire season of Curb Your Enthusiasm as the producers, like with the plot of the producers. That sounds interesting.
I've always heard great things about Curb. My only problem with Curb is that the people who speak really, really highly about Curb are all massive douchebags.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Was it Curb Your Enthusiasm that had the scene of Larry David freaking out that his attorney with the last name of Berg was Swedish and not Jewish?
Probably. That sounds like a
Because that was
gag.
One of the funniest skits I've ever seen on a show.
I know, like a few years ago, he did the skit where he realized he could get rid of people he didn't like by wearing a MAGA hat because they wouldn't want to talk to him.
Yes.
It's a good gag. It's great. So, I've never sat down and watched it though. I've heard good things, and I'm hesitant for the exact same reasons that you just said. But Zoe Saldana made sure we all knew that her Oscar is a tranny.
What?
I genuinely,
Because she got an Oscar for doing the transgender movie.
Oh my god.
And she wanted. But
Oh,
her
so
Oscar
the statue that she
her Oscar
received
is a female
trans.
to male. It's a they them.
What?
No, it's a female to or it's a male to a they.
Really?
I don't know what it is. It's trans.
Okay, I didn't know what that it meant. At
But
first.
doesn't trans imply that you switched? So this is inherently contradictory.
Yeah.
You can
I mean,
transition into a nebulous.
Yeah, it's
Gender.
like I've made this argument before. It's like you transition from one thing to another, like you're male or you're female. That like says there's something to transition to.
It kind of sounds like she's
Either
just talking
or.
out of her butt.
That's what I'm saying.
It kind of sounds like she's just just pandering and doesn't actually care or know anything about what she's saying.
Yes. Once you understand that words don't mean anything to lefties, and you basically have to translate them into what the actual meaning of the word is. Like, this just basically means I am a good person who supports the current liberal orthodoxy. That is literally, and conservatives should be mad about it. That is literally what this is.
Yeah.
Translate.
Also, is she assuming the pronouns of this Oscar?
Yes. I don't think she asked.
I don't think she asked. Yeah, that is incredibly bigoted.
Yeah, it's pretty
Freaking
big.
dress. That is so ugly. Who's dressing her?
Yeah, no.
See,
okay,
this is a different
oh my
thing.
goodness,
Gender
Sebastian.
fluid is not the same as trans. Her Oscar is gender fluid.
It's not.
Before adding, no,
Thing is,
it's
that
actually
whole-
it's not gender fluid. It's actually trans. Those are different things.
Well, I would just add that I think that's part of the issue that a lot of us have is like
You don't
the
say.
definition of what these words mean.
You don't say, Jared.
The definition is the hardest part of and it's always the thing that gets brought up in these conversations, right? It's like, what does that even mean? You know, what does it mean to be trans? What does it mean to be gender fluid? You're saying there's 36 genders. What does that mean? You know, like what are all
It's
these
because
genders?
it doesn't mean anything.
It's gonna be Matt
Well,
Walsh
they can't
in the
define
next
it. I
movie.
mean,
What is a trans?
I think it's good. She's trying to represent people that may be misrepresented or not as represented as much. But it's kind of weird that you would do it by naming your Oscar statuette that.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna challenge you on this one. When you say that they're underrepresented, the
pretty
two
overrepresented.
movies
Historically, I'll say they've historically been underrepresented.
They haven't existed historically.
Okay, so the two finalists for the Best Picture Oscar last year were about a trans pope and a trans prostitute.
I know, but until within the last 10 years, there's been a shift. Obviously, within the last 5 or 6, but
and neither of those films were this movie about. Those were both two different movies.
I thought this was about
Honora. Honora was about.
Honora was the Jewish
prostitute.
prostitute.
Okay.
Emily Perez was the trans prostitute.
You're right.
And then, what was it? What was the trans pope?
It was the conclave.
Conclave, not congregation. Conclave.
What? Trans pope? What?
Yeah, technically a hermaphrodite pope who transitions at the end of the movie.
Is this real life?
Yes. My wife watched it.
What movie was that?
Conclave.
You're telling me you guys didn't watch the Oscars last year?
No.
No, we had a show. I thought
screw that.
We were streaming during the
about,
Oscars.
Like, Pope Joan. That's a funny story.
Okay. I did want to challenge the idea that including underrepresented groups is necessarily a good thing, because I've heard that all the time that it's a good thing and we should do it, but I don't view representation as a virtue. Obviously, depending on what you mean by that, obviously, taxation without representation is wrong, but that's a completely different thing. I get how it would make some people enjoy something. If I knew somebody who was deaf and they were watching a show and they saw a character who was deaf, and you can relate better. It's exciting when you see somebody in a show that's similar to you, but it's not a virtue. It's cool. It's exciting. It's not a virtue. It's not something that should be praised. And especially should not be praised when the thing that you're representing is not a good thing. So I don't think it's a good thing to represent these people, to go out of your way to pander to these people, to represent them, and the people that you're pandering to aren't even a good thing that we should be celebrating to.
Well, I think the fact of it is, Charles, is that there are people that feel that they are trans, right? We can't deny that there are people
there are people who
are
have schizophrenia.
Yes.
It's also not a good thing.
What I'm trying to say is that regardless of whether or not it's a good thing, you can still be fine with representing that in movies and films and stuff like that.
There are movies about schizophrenia, sure,
that are out there in the real world that feel that way, right? And then when they see that in the films, like you're saying, it helps them to feel like they're seen. And that's important to be able to feel like they're being seen. I understand that there's a lot of controversy to whether or not it's appropriate for children to be seeing stuff like that and whatnot. But this is a mature film that we're talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't made for children. Sure,
that wasn't made for children. She's
the
playing
movie.
A different
this
role,
movie
a
specifically,
story that hasn't been told before, and I think there's nothing to be said about that's honorable to want to celebrate that she's playing a different role, just like if it would have been autistic or some other sort of.
The problem with how transgenderism has been represented, though, Jared, is that it's in every instance it's celebrating it, and it's creating more problems.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that.
Every single instance of representation, it's saying this is a great thing that they are trans.
If you watch
they
a movie,
are fantastic.
There's plenty of movies that have characters with schizophrenia, and they don't say, "Hey, listen to the voices, guys."
Yeah,
which is
that's the difference. I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a character that exists in the real world. Like if you're writing a story the problem is this movie specifically was about celebrating transgenderism and telling people that it's okay and convincing people to do something that inherently is bad for them.
Well, I think that there's definitely a degree of how much influence television, like TV and shows, have on society. Like that is for sure something that is impacts the way that we live, right? Like, the movies that we consume, the things that we listen to, we watch, they definitely affect how we think. And yeah, maybe it shouldn't be celebrated if it's not something that's that's harmful, which is arguable. Like it's up for debate, right? There's lots of debates that are saying, hey, this is something that isn't good for your health. There's lots of people that have transitioned back and stuff. But all I'm trying to say is there are people that do feel this way, and I think that we can't discount those stories. And so trying to tell those stories is honorable, not necessarily like I said. I think it's kind of weird to say that you're going to name your statuette they them, and I don't understand the whole pronouns and why that's necessary. But I think it's all I'm trying to say is I think it's important though that we are accepting, right, and we treat others with respect,
right,
without necessarily saying, "Hey,
I condemn the sin, not the sinner."
Yes,
exactly.
And I don't encourage people to keep. I don't encourage people to keep sinning.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between acknowledging that it's a thing and recognizing, and saying, we recognize that you have this thing. We're not going to condemn you for it. And there's a difference between that and what they do in modern day Hollywood, which is saying, oh, this is the greatest character ever. I wish my child was trans because it makes me an interesting person. It's completely different because that is what it's become.
Or
where
how
they glorify trans. And people nowadays, they're pressuring their kids to be trans because they see it as an amazing, good thing when it's not.
Yeah, my daughter just this week, she's going through a phase where she tells us that she's a boy. She's 2 years old. I'm a boy because she thinks it's funny. And I'm like, okay, I yearn for the days where this could be dismissed as a joke. And now if she goes to school and says I'm a boy, they're going to transition her without my permission because that has absolutely happened.
Bad.
Yeah,
that's obviously bad.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this definitely does add fuel to the flame of the activists who are trying to push more of this agenda and stuff like that, right? They're trying to say, hey,
think about it in terms of not just schizophrenia, but like it's very dangerous when you're making movies about suicide.
Yeah, I agree.
Like everyone had a big problem with 13 Reasons Why. I didn't watch the show because I'm not gay. But everyone said like, show. Hey, like
I mean, it was an interesting show.
It caused a lot of problems. It caused a massive increase of suicide ideology. What's it called?
Suicidal ideation.
There you go. I don't know why I couldn't remember that term. It romanticized the idea of suicide.
Yeah,
and that is not a good thing. Like, yeah, and you.
Or like,
I don't think that's good, and especially considering the trans demographic has the highest rates for suicide ever.
Yeah,
the only demographic that even comes close is people with schizophrenia.
To take it a step further, when you talk about so it's a problem for a couple of reasons, but when you talk about trans healthcare, the issue is
we get from Mel Brooks to this.
The issue is there is no other psychological condition where you change the body to match the mind.
Yes.
In every other case of psychological
body dysmorphia,
even
anorexia.
Yeah, the methodology is always to convince the mind that the body, the biology, is accurate.
Right.
And that isn't the treatment that's being recommended with trans. And the issue with the glorification and what we're kind of seeing now is that so much of the medical field and the psychology field especially is that there's a tendency for things to run on consensus. And so by creating the consensus that trans is good, it has, and I guess more accurately, especially in the UK, it had created a scenario where, doctors were giving puberty blockers out to kids within 30 minutes of meeting the kid.
Yeah,
because
there's going to be a huge reckoning within the medical community. Like that some people need to go to jail.
Yeah,
they're done.
I agree, and like I said, like the films that we watch and that we make, they do have an impact on the society and how we conform and how we, what things we accept within society. I 100% agree. I'm just saying that I don't think we should be quick to judge it just because it's about a trans story, right? Like we need to be more accepting.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Did you watch the clips with us though? The songs?
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
I'm just saying we need to be accepting, and rather than just saying I would never accept this because it's about a trans, like
open-minded versus acceptance. I think that's probably a good
we
thing.
did watch clips of the movie on the show. You might not have been there that week, but it's not. This is not the movie to
yeah, but that's a whole nother thing. What people watch and what they accept after they watch is totally up to them. I'm just saying that I think as a society, we need to be more accepting of things where it's like, hey, sure, maybe she wants to celebrate the trans portion of this film. That doesn't mean I have to. That doesn't mean I need to watch it, right? But I can still accept that they chose to tell this story, and it had a good reception. Like people,
there's still a responsibility though. If you're a public figure and you're promoting something unhealthy, I think Lizzo is
to them though. That is totally up to them.
Right, and I think it's okay for me to condemn Lizzo for telling people that being fat is healthy. I think it's perfectly acceptable for me to say that and say no, I'm not okay with that. You know.
There are things like freedom of speech is never 100%, blanket statement. I think there are some things that we should what's the opposite of condone?
Condemn.
Oh wait.
Oh, accept. You're
condemn.
Trying to condone, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyways, that we should. For some reason, I was thinking condone. Anyways, never mind. There are things that people. Like we argue, they should have the freedom of speech. Kind of what Elon is saying, that they can say anything, whether it's good or bad on X. But I think to have an actually coherent society, there are some things that we should limit. Like not necessarily having the government come in and purge Lizzo for saying that fat is healthy, but like we should be able to criticize her and tell her that she's wrong, that being fat is not healthy, and she's wrong to be telling people that it is.
Also, Jared, if you want to understand the more historical context behind this, it's broken record time, but you need to read The Naked Communist. These types of things have not just it's not an individual thing. It's a concerted effort to destroy God and to destroy America.
Yes,
it's Marxism at its core, and it's designed to. This stuff, literally pushing trans ideology and blurring the lines between gender. It's Marxist propaganda.
I understand.
It's one of the 45 goals of communism to completely destroy America.
I think there's definitely a lot of things that are concerning about the ideology that Americans have chosen to accept. And a lot of it stems from, these sorts of ideas with gender fluidity and things like that. But I'm just trying to say that doesn't mean that we should castrate them or shun them because
I'm trying to stop them from castrating themselves. I don't want that. That's literally the exact opposite of what I want.
Yeah, my response is
don't. I think you chose the wrong word.
I get what you're saying. I think there should be some level of shunning, not to the point of shaming, not to the point of for shame you should feel horrible about yourself, but there should be some level of recognizing you're wrong, your views are damaging, and for that reason, I'm not going to take my kids to the drag queen story hour because my children will be damaged if I take them there. They should be shunned in that sense.
If you're gonna make a movie and Hollywood is so guilty of this, and it's about a historical figure that was whatever way, like be accurate in their portrayal. Like there was like several years
no,
ago, there was
the
the
trans
Harvey Milk
community
show.
hated this movie, by the way.
Yeah,
They did.
Yeah.
It is
about,
not
like, Harvey Milk, and he was gay, right? It's like they left out the whole part about him.
They left out the part where he was a horrible abuser,
Yeah.
predatory abuser.
Yeah, so it's like,
and several of his
everyone
victims
is
committed
like,
suicide.
"Yay,
Yeah,
he's gay, woohoo!"
yeah. No, there is a street in Salt Lake named Harvey Milk Boulevard.
Gross.
Yeah, I think a lot of the question of I think we can all kind of acknowledge that the, people that have decided that they are trans is a mental illness. I think the question becomes,
I think it's on the docket.
When you say, there's a need for acceptance, I think that, there's a way to, you obviously don't want to tell people like, no, you're a crazy person. You don't have rights. Like you should, we should lock you up.
Right.
But I think there's, when you create acceptance in that way, it almost serves as tacit encouragement.
Yeah.
So to a way, you do need sort of a sense of condemnation as a discouragement for people to pursue that path.
My heart absolutely goes out to these people. I think they've been lied to by society, and half of the people who've transitioned never would have done it if society hadn't been so accepting of it. And it breaks my heart to see all of the people detransitioning now and saying, I can't believe I was fed this lie and it's completely ruined my life.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and that's what I'm trying to say is like, I think there should be a discussion. Like, I'm not saying there shouldn't be, some critique.
The USS Harvey Weinstein is a better choice. Keep going.
Harvey Wine as well.
So I'm just saying there should be some critique, obviously, because we can't just let them, portray these things without having them fact checked, right? Because that's the worst part is when you take something for truth that isn't actually truth, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think that's, in my opinion, where I think a lot of the danger comes in today's society is when you start to say, I have my own truth. Right. And I don't believe in anything other than I don't believe in absolute truths, because I think there are definitely truths, and that's what. So I think we should critique them to try to find that truth, and to try to help that truth, come forth. But I'm just saying that, like, it's up to us how we let those sorts of films influence us and influence society, right? It's not the film that did any of that. It was the people that watched the film and said, hey, this is how I want to now take this information and implement it in my society, implement it in my personal beliefs, right? So if they chose to watch the film and said, hey, yeah, I don't agree with that, or I don't believe this story is correct, or maybe they go and fact check it, they find out all this information, maybe it wasn't portrayed accurately.
I think you would have a valid point if it weren't for the fact that these types of movies are being used as weapons. They're being used as cudgels by the left to berate and beat down anyone who thinks differently. It's the same argument. It's the same like anti-Christian arguments that they'll use for like, hey, look, I have a personal belief that I think homosexuality is a sin, and I've been shamed relentlessly for that. I have lots of friends who are homosexuals, and I love them as people, but it's still okay for me to hold the belief that I think it's a sin, and the exact same arguments that you're using right now, they've used to completely, persecute my personal beliefs.
No, he makes a valid point though, in the sense that this wouldn't be such a big deal if your average leftist didn't view the universe through the lens of fiction. If people didn't view deportations of illegals,
look at what's happening right now with the LA riots. the left is comparing it to Andor, and that's the
what?
only comparison.
It's just real life.
That's all they're capable of doing. Like, look, we're seeing Star Wars in real life, and you're like, you clearly don't understand what's happening, and you also didn't understand Andor, right? Like it was. It is a psychological phenomenon that the left is predisposed to not understanding the difference between reality and fiction.
That is so insane.
Well, and I think we can too. Like, I don't think it's just the left or the right.
Sure.
Like, I think we all can, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that's the key. Is like we gotta like, it's okay to challenge it, right? It's okay to question.
Yeah. Should we shame murderers? I think that's a problem. If we're accepting of the behavior, and it's probably not a super fair comparison, but it's a good analogous comparison. What we accept as a society, it also is permissive, right? We're accepting the society that we want to exist.
Or just the idea of like everything gets amplified in the amount of tension that gets put into it too. It's like, is it subversion? Yes. Like Yuri Bezmenov spoke about.
Obviously,
like,
we have movies about murderers, and I think if movies are celebrating, hey, murder is good, I think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
There's some movies
Just
that
like,
do that,
we
and
can
they've
have
been criticized for glorifying murder and things like that.
Yeah, see, but
and
then that
should be rightfully criticized for that.
Yeah, exactly. But that comes back to, okay, what do I get out of that film, right? Like, am I watching this film and saying, oh, okay, well, they're saying murder's acceptable. Like, murdering is not acceptable. And so you would critique that and say, okay, well, that's obviously not good.
Yes, there's a part of the interpretation, but there is also a clear difference between the intention of the movie. If I made a movie where there was a character who just went on a murdering spree and then got away with it at the end, and there was a kumbaya and he was just happy, that's completely different from a different movie where the murderer went on a murdering spree and his life was ruined, he saw the consequences of his actions, and he committed suicide at the end. Like, those are completely different movies, because one is showing murder as this fun party-go-lucky, it's just having fun, and the other one is showing the real reality of it, that it is this horrible, disgusting, horrible action. And so, yes, there's some truth to what you interpret, but the movie has a fantastic ability of showing you a message.
You could talk about
Jared, you look like you're not having fun anymore. Can we finish struggle sessioning,
No,
Jared?
I think this is a great discussion. Yeah. I think this is great.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about the intentions of the Bible, right? Christ gave teachings, and it's been interpreted 100 different ways. And I think that some of the ways that it's interpreted are wrong and evil, and I should be able to criticize those interpretations.
Yes, but you're not necessarily like. But I think it's all about the difference between critiquing and also being accepting of the individual. Like you said, it's versus the person and their actions. But I would also argue, Charles, like, there are lots of examples where we accept those sorts of shows and movies as a society, and we just deem them okay. Like, the first one that came to mind was Dexter. How many people have watched Dexter, who's literally...
Yeah, but he's only killing killers.
I know, right?
Okay.
But that they justify it, right? But then...
Dude,
but
I don't know what you're talking about. Fascism is incredible.
I know, we've crazy. This discussion is gone.
I think... I don't think the even that example, I think that show exists as like, hey, to make the audience question, like, hey, is murder okay if all you're murdering is murdering? If all you're murdering is murderers? Like, it's specifically asking that question,
Well, I know, and that's just the first example.
It's good.
Like,
it's good.
But all I'm trying to say is that, like, I think as a society,
I think we're saying the same thing.
That.
I think we're saying the same thing. I don't like that we've accepted. I don't like some of the things that we've just generally accepted as society.
Yeah,
I'm a conservative at heart.
Point. And to kind of build on top of that, GTA in a way glorifies crime quite a bit. I think we'd all agree GTA does that. It glorifies crime. And you could argue that is a very bad game because it does that. I think most people that were to play it recognize that the crime in it is a bad thing. But
Well, true. I think
that's
GTA.
understandable. So I think another distinction that we would slap on here is that the creators of GTA are not going out and then saying, "I made this game to show how amazing murder is," because the creators of these woke shows are going on to the press releases and they're tweeting out, "This was a monument to the gay community to show you that you're not alone, that you can slay queen, that." What you're doing is
Rafe
good.
Judkins saying, "I am turning the show into feminist
Yes.
propaganda."
And
Whereas
I think that's
the
where
creator
we
of
get into-
GTA, yes, murder is wrong. Yes, the game glorifies it, but the creator doesn't genuinely believe that crime is good and murder is good, and he's not out there preaching it in his off time.
Well, but I would argue that maybe he does because he built a game that's all you do. But I would just say that, like, I think that's also where the issue comes, right? And that's where we then have to say, okay, well, I don't agree with what this producer's doing, and that's why we have this show that we do, right? Is to just kind of be like,
yeah,
hey, I don't like how they're pushing this on this. I mean, just share your story, right? Like, I didn't need to have you say, oh yeah, this was because there wasn't enough women representation, so I'm replacing all the characters with women, right? Like, I didn't need that. I just needed it to be a show that I could watch and maybe I would enjoy and then I would figure that out on my own.
Our cat's name is George, by the way.
George.
Clark Kresk.
Anyway, we've gotten into a really, really political.
Yeah, I think it's a good.
Hopefully, I
it's a
didn't get
good
anybody canceled.
conversation, and there's a lot
canceled.
worth considering because there's a lot worth considering. You know, I used to enjoy playing GTA, and maybe I was wrong for that.
Well, talking
Maybe
about
it is a
the
bad thing.
intentions of people producing movies, this is the perfect segue. Zachary Levi is opened his own movie studio.
Oh, all right. Good for him.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
Who is
That's it.
Zachary
That's the news.
Levi?
Zachary Levi is Chuck and Shazam.
Oh, nice.
And has
Cool.
is very openly Christian and stopped getting roles because of it.
Oh wow.
Oh, heck yes.
Yeah, that's happened to a lot of people.
I didn't know that part about him.
It's almost like the intention behind these producers is to, completely erase Christianity. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's rough.
That's not true. I think their goal is to destroy America. I think Christianity is just one of the pillars.
I think America. Yeah, Christianity is one of the pillars holding up America. So
yeah, that was the joke.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I started
hard,
talking over your punchline, and so I wanted to reiterate it. I wasn't trying to take it from you. I heard it as I was interrupting.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to separate that from movies. So I mean, I don't like watching movies now because it is just propaganda. But if you look at the history of film, some of the first films and the films in which they developed editing techniques were Russian propaganda movies made by communists. So it's I don't know, you can't really take that out of the thing because that's where you got it. It's you watch what is that? Can't remember the filmmaker's name of that, but October, and there's all this editing stuff and it's weird and
I can appreciate and consume media from people who I staunchly disagree with. Johnny Got His Gun was written by I just spaced on his name. Breaking Bad guy played him in his documentary, in his biopic. Why can't I remember his name?
I have no idea.
He was an infamous playwright and screenwriter for Hollywood. And he was a raging communist.
Oh yeah. What's his name? I'm
completely spacing on his name. Dalton Trumbo.
Dalton Trumbo, yeah.
Dalton Trumbo. Johnny Got His Gun is a phenomenal book. It's I really like it. And
the movie Trumbo is not bad. I mean, but it's
I haven't seen it.
I don't think it's it's truthful, but it's not a bad movie.
Great. Thanks for plugging that.
I'm having a brain is an antidote to communism. I don't know, man. I just started reading Plato's Dialogues because I wanted to
interesting.
Read something different. And it's man, this problem of fighting ideologues and people that don't have logical arguments and can't see truth or want to even or it's even more than that, because like it actually says in like the first dialogue in this book, which is the apology, which is like Plato writing down like what Socrates was saying before he was sentenced to death, is basically talking about like there's people out there that are attacking me that can't accept what objective reality and objective truth is. So
Yeah.
I thought it was very, very interesting, like that even back then, like thousands of years ago in ancient Greece, we're having the same conversations. It's like, and then like, and they even talk about like thinking morality is objective and it's something that can change. And he was said, no, it's not. And that was one of the things. Yeah.
I think all of this goes back to the Bible verse that says the wicked find the truth to be hard because it cut them to the very soul. I didn't quote that very well. And it's the truth is that these people, not necessarily the wicked, but somebody who's wrong hates the fact that they're wrong. And it's easier to shut the other person up or to just argue or die on that hill than to acknowledge that you were wrong and to change your ways.
And I think this is my personal idea that I didn't steal from anyone. If you just keep it to 3% woke, I can stomach your story. And I can read Dalton Trumbo's a book and enjoy the story and ignore the 3. I definitely didn't steal the idea from Will.
Well, and I'll just add too, though. I think that this is interesting because like we always do seem to get political somehow on this show.
It's almost like media has gotten more political.
Well, but I think that's kind of the purpose of media, and I think it kind of has been like.
Well, politics is downstream from culture, so
yeah,
our culture is going to
pushes our
reflect.
culture.
I think it's both.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, so yeah, our culture and our societal norms can influence our films, but our films have a way of impacting our societal norms and our communities a lot more as well. So it's like we always get into these sorts of discussions, but that's kind of the purpose of.
It kind of sounds like you're arguing against yourself right now, Jared. You're saying that films. No. It kind of sounds like you are.
No.
That maybe films with bad messages shouldn't exist, huh?
No, I'm just saying they definitely impact our society.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing, Jared.
We allow them.
We're saying the same thing. Anyway, who sent this to me? Shocking Disney. No. This was me. Hey, it turns out CBR, years after the fact, is finally covering what we've been covering for years. That the woke decisions behind the new Doctor Who wasn't just Russell T. Davies and the BBC acting alone. Disney made demands. And every single person who said that I was lying in the YouTube comments can go screw themselves. Because Disney absolutely had creative control over these last 2 seasons. And now even CBR is admitting that it's true. So screw you. I was right.
Yeah.
That's the point. The point of this article was that I was right.
I see.
And everyone said I was wrong. Okay.
I believe you.
Someone did an AI trailer, for a show that doesn't exist, but they turned the Lucent into, they did AI, and it looks amazing.
Dude, I love AI stuff.
And even Michael Bancroft is like, okay, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Look, some of these look real good. Because it's all like, and this is the kind of stuff that could, I don't know. You should I don't want to play it on here. You should watch it yourself. But again, I don't think AI is a catch-all replacement. But for a project like The Lucent, which is literally about dreaming, you could have these surreal scenes that maybe have a little bit of uncanny valley in them, and it could really serve an adaptation like this well. To have the kind of freaky, like this shot right here, clearly doesn't look normal. But that's the kind of thing that would happen in this world of dreams. It's a good shot. But
Where can you find this?
well, Michael Bancroft retweeted it. King Camel did his little Lucent Fractured Mind, which is about to release, or maybe it's already out. No, I think he had to delay it by a few weeks.
It's interesting.
The third comic. These comics are great. I really like them. And Michael Bancroft is a cool guy, and you should watch his YouTube channel.
There you go. Hold up, Michael.
You know who can't get their twig and berries cut off? Sydney Sweeney.
Oh my gosh, why is everyone obsessed with her? She's like a sloth girl. Like her eyes.
Hey, but Mark is abnormally obsessed with her.
I know, we talk about it on Dax a lot, and I'm like, it's weird. I'm not a fan of the sloth girls.
I do not think she is unattractive.
She's not unattractive, but she's just odd looking.
Okay.
You know who's weird? What? Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, it's.
I agree. That she.
I don't think her music is the worst of all pop music.
I had no idea Sabrina Carpenter made music.
Yeah, that's what she's famous for, is music.
You did? Oh, okay. I assumed she was an OnlyFans thought.
She looks like one.
From what she's been posting recently, that isn't not an unreasonable assumption.
I will admit she is talented, and I have admitted I liked some of her songs.
Okay. This next article,
horrible.
this next post is another vindication post for me because
this is a victory tour for you.
Yes,
I'm here for it.
Okay, this just came across my timeline, and I made the mistake of watching it, and now I feel even more vindicated because I refused to watch Ahsoka. And some people on this show kept saying, no, it's actually good. And then I watched this fight scene from it. And I feel completely vindicated. I'd seen some of the bad fight scenes in the show and said, wow, these fight scenes are horrible. And then I didn't see this one because I didn't watch the stupid show. This is horrible. And I don't think it was Jared. I think it was David and,
I was gonna say, that was
other
definitely
Jared
not me, so
who
don't be
are
giving
saying,
me
no,
the
the show's actually kind of good. So they're not here to reap my wrath. But this is just watch. There's no sound. I'm not going to play the sound, but it's horrible.
Oh, ooh, yeah. Ooh,
so
yeah,
pretty.
that's bad.
So riveting. Let me stand in place and block
goodness,
a million blaster shots.
It's like these little 5 or 6.
No, she blocks
that
2
had
or
a
3.
plastic
The core-
bat that
the
were
core-
trying to play baseball, but they couldn't hit the ball.
It's
They were
so
just kinda
slow
floating.
too. She can't even swing these lightsabers.
These guys have cooldowns on their triggers.
Why not just completely unload on her? She'd be dead. Did they
taking turns?
Did they not watch episode 3? Where Jedis get killed with blasters in Order 66, okay? One of the best ones. Plo Koon gets mowed down. He's able to block a few of them. And even he is not just standing in place. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh, She looks like an old lady. She's hunched over.
Well, isn't Rosario Dawson 60?
This is just the worst choreography I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I want Jared and David to take responsibility.
It definitely was not me. I didn't watch that show either. This is new for me too.
She finally hit
I was
someone.
gonna say, now it's interesting.
Out of curiosity, what episode is this? I want to see something.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I watched the
stayed
first
animated.
episode. I watched the first episode and was like, nope, I'm good. I have no idea what episode this is, and I will not do the research to find out. because that would require watching more of this dumb show.
Why does Thrawn look like Elon Musk?
I don't know.
Oh my god, Hera looks so bad. Like, no offense, I used to be on the 501st, and I knew cosplayers that had better costumes of them. Like, the show looks so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. I do not understand the Rosario Dawson casting.
Why is this even a live action show? I mean, the aliens, the makeup and stuff is really hard to do.
I agree. The makeup doesn't look good.
Nothing. It looks like
the
I
hair
said.
thingy just looks fake.
You know what looks infinitely? You know what looks infinitely better than this show? AI, baby. Let's go.
All right, boys. Orders just came in from Vader's bitch ass, and me and Greg are headed to Endor. Forest mission, easy terrain, little recon work. Should be chill. Okay, Greg. I'm telling you, I've seen like 5 of those little teddy bear looking things. One of them had a spear.
Well, guess they were real.
I thought you were joking.
We're gonna die in a tree hammock because of you, Greg. We got out. We got out. Greg chewed through the net like a psychopath, and now the teddy bears are chasing us. They're throwing things. Greg, why are they so fast?
All right, boys.
This is great. This is great.
I will watch 100 of these stupid stormtrooper vlogs before I watch a single episode of Ahsoka.
Yeah, let's have more stormtrooper vlogs.
They're really funny.
Yeah.
There's one where they pull a prank on.
Oh my god, there's more of them?
They prank. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. It's the Sasquatch videos and Stormtrooper videos. You got to be on X right now. They prank Vader. They hide his lightsaber in the fridge, and it's just him and Greg. It's just these two, Stormtroopers getting into trouble.
What's the
just infinitely better?
Hold on.
I don't know if it's all being made by the same guy or if a bunch of people are jumping on the trend, but that one was posted by Murica Memed. I think it's probably a repost. It's definitely a repost. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
The original ones. So sorry that I don't have the original, but everything's a repost on X, and no one cites their sources, which is frustrating. Stormtrooper vlogs. I think that's probably the real source. Maybe. Yeah, it's got to be these guys. Some of them are real good.
Voices? Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's a straight up YouTube channel. That's cool.
Yeah, they have their own YouTube.
channel.
Probably. I'm sure they're on TikTok. Yeah, they're on TikTok too.
They've got.
It's absolutely hilarious, and it is.
12 videos.
Sorry, what, Charles?
It looks like they got 12 videos, each a minute long.
Yeah, they're all pretty quick, because it's.
That's a fun idea. Looked funny. I'm gonna check it out.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're hilarious. Wait, no, they did one in LA. Oh no. What is? Okay, I gotta see this. I haven't seen this one. If they swear, I'm sorry.
This is somebody else, I think.
Exploring Earth for Vader. Yep. Go back to Mexico. What the fuck is a Mexico? Apparently they don't have speeders here, so we'll need to take some local transport.
Did you see the news today? The birds, they are just falling from the sky. And the stars, they are not in the right place.
I'm not sure what the fuck that was all about, but we found a forest in the middle of the metropolis, so we thought we'd explore it. Fuck! What the fuck? They just stole our fucking suits! We gotta get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, I could watch these all day. Stealing Vader's helmet. Yeah. So much better. I mean, it's we're right on the verge. I mean, and it's Zachary Levi. To go back to Zachary Levi, he's the one that's been saying this. Like, it's so crazy that he's talking about his falling out with Hollywood, and it's so crazy that people have turned it's turned into this elitist club where they clearly don't want any Christians involved. If you don't have the right politics, you're not included in this club, and they don't even realize their jobs aren't going to exist in 5 years. Like
5.
Yeah, I'm like, I think that might be an overestimate now. It's crazy what they're going to be able to do. I mean, just imagine, just nobodies being able to, just write a good script and just have your actors just talking in their room and just have all the background created, by AI.
That's crazy.
Like it's we're going to see just a surgence of independent film. And I think it's going to be real exciting. So
fingers crossed.
I mean, I think we already saw a little bit of that in like the House of David, right? Like, where they had that AI scene.
Yeah,
great example.
Yeah,
that's an amazing show too. And I think a lot of people are worried. They think that the AI is going to make the quality go down, but I totally disagree. I think House of David proves
we
that.
just watched a scene in Ahsoka.
Oh no,
I don't know if there's a floor to how, like, can AI get below that scene we just watched in Ahsoka? Like, I would feel a lot worse for people in Hollywood losing their jobs if they weren't doing that. So, meh.
I know. Like, it's such an exciting time. Like, the people who are screaming AI is so evil. It's silly. You're screaming into the wind. And yes, if it's taking your job, I feel bad for you, but you need to adapt.
Absolutely.
Because it's also an exciting time. And you guys have got to go.
I'm sorry, I'm sleepy.
But yeah, just imagine, just have cardboard monsters on set, bing, smash, and then the CGI is free. We can do such. It's such an exciting time.
It can be really exciting.
It's not that easy. If you watch
I know.
Shadow
It's gonna require a good human input. That's what I'm saying. You got to pivot.
Yes, you have to learn how to use the AI. And I've tried multiple times to get into the AI stuff. You've listened. I've tried to make some music out of it. I'm not good.
Yeah, music is still a pretty far.
I think that was me. I think you can make some good music with AI.
No, I've heard it's passable. It's not good. Like some people might be fooled.
I don't know if you've seen what we've been getting in country music for the last 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
It could compete.
I feel like AI is well on its way to being able to produce that.
It's getting close. I think music is further behind the other ones. Although I will say, if you haven't listened to 10 Drunk Cigarettes, you're missing out. It's one of the greatest songs of all time, and it's completely made with AI.
No way.
Have you guys seen this?
I have not.
Okay, listen to this. This is probably going to demonetize the whole stream, and I don't care because you need to listen to 10 Drunk Cigarettes. Okay.
Okay.
Completely AI. The lyrics were created. The music is it's great. It's the best thing you'll ever listen to in your life. That's working. Sound?
No, I don't hear anything.
Hold on. "10 Drunk Cigarettes." Share.
I think it's really interesting because it's like, who owns that if it's made by AI?
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah?
Yes.
We're getting some.
And it is an interesting debate.
Bunny don't need Ken. Us girls are doing fine on our own.
Yeah.
So if you're a man, leave us alone.
Leave us alone,
Getting girls
boys.
rich. Yes. That's
It's a part of their plan. I'm just going to pause it real quick.
Yeah.
We're almost to the best part. Getting girls rich, it's a part of our
part of
plan.
my plan. And I can name 10 things us girls need before we ever need a man. 1 line of coke, 2 lines of coke, 3 drinks from the bar, 4 more lines of coke, 5 fast fries, 6 hits in my blunt,
7 more lines of coke,
8 pairs of shoes, 9 baby belts, and 10 drunk cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
This is literally indistinguishable from modern pop music.
Yeah.
7 more lines of
It
coke.
could pass. Like it could be passed as a legit pop song. I would not be surprised if I heard that on the radio. There's a video now exposing Girly Girl Productions, which is whoever made that song. Because I looked it up. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, because I think they
Exposing them as AI.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Yeah, that's probably what it's about.
All right. Well, we gotta get going here, man.
Yeah, it's late out here.
Thanks for
up
joining
on
us.
The Central
Absolutely.
Coast. Thank you guys for having us, and I'll keep watching Murderbot.
Yep. And Alan, great job on that Daniel.
Thank you. Because I worked hard on it. So,
all right.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye. It sounded like the Dylan Mulvaney song, the Days of Girlhood, whatever it was. Yeah, music is mathematics, and that's and it's gonna get pretty good. The hard part is that music also breaks all of its own rules, which is gonna, I don't know if it's gonna be hard for AI to do that kind of stuff. But the mathematical, 4-chord pop music, they can pump it out.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna get Rush out of AI music anytime soon.
Yeah.
But you can get pop songs. So, okay, watch Salty Roast. Ciao.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else to talk about.
I don't think so. We talked about Monkey Man.
We talked about politics for way too long.
We talked about a lot of politics.
Thanks for the discussion.
We talked about.
That's good.
I did wanted to go back to what our plan is, I guess, because we could start watching Foundation, the first 2 seasons, and cover those maybe. A couple episodes a week.
I'm just a principled man. Do I give in and watch Foundation? I just couldn't believe.
I'm curious.
That in the trailer, they said the line, Harry Seldon believed that one person could make a difference.
Well, then we can criticize it on the show. We can criticize it. I think I'm gonna check it out because the visuals look fantastic. I have it. I have the IMDb open right now, and it's been going through the some scenes. It looks good. I'm gonna check it out.
It hasn't been.
And I'm curious about the books as well.
There's no release date yet. There's no release date yet, and there's actually no official title yet. But we are getting the new Vince Gilligan TV show sometime late this year on Apple TV.
Okay.
He's Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, okay.
The working title is Vicario, and I think it's supposed to be a sci-fi based in New Mexico. Lee Pace for 007. I don't hate that. Also has C with Jason Momoa. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of things. The other problem is I don't want to add much more to the schedule if we don't have to, because this summer is going to be really busy for me. So it's kind of been nice only having one thing to talk about.
Well, I'll check it out.
But yeah, no, we should probably watch Foundation, I guess.
You don't have to. It could be just like Monkey Man, where I come in with some notes and I can tell you if it's maybe woke, maybe not, and then it is, and then it will be.
Here's the thing: it will encourage, because I've been putting off reading more of Foundation for a long time, and it would force me to start reading to finish those books as well.
There you go.
But that would mean I'd have to put off all of the other things I've been reading.
When did you say that Vince Gilligan's show comes out?
It's supposed to come out late 2025, so probably fourth quarter. October, November, December.
Mm-hmm.
We're already in the third quarter.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I keep thinking we're nearing the end because I'm working off the fiscal year, and it screws with my.
Well, I also keep thinking
Cycle.
I have more time to read Jared's, Jared's.
What?
Jared, you read some? You published?
I keep thinking, oh, I have plenty of time to read James' book before he finishes, before he gets back in November. Is it
Oh,
November?
James, our
younger brother James is on a mission right now.
Except he said that he changed all of it.
Yeah.
Rude.
Well, I also told him I'd read it, and I've started several times, and I've read the first couple chapters, and I keep thinking, oh, I've got time to read it before he gets back. And I
When you get back.
gotta watch House of David. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, it's super good, absolutely wonderful. I love it.
Fantastic show.
So I need to stop putting off, and that's the problem. There's no audiobook, so I have to actually sit down and read it with my dyslexia, and it takes forever. But I really want to read it because he's my brother, and I want to read his book.
I procrastinated reading his book. It sounds like he's actually kind of good. Maybe better than me, at least.
We're supposed to get the Vince Gilligan show sometime. Stranger Things, I don't know when that comes out. We're supposed to get the Terminalist prequel series soon.
Oh yeah, that
And
should.
who knows when season 2 is gonna come out?
No, I've been seeing announcements about that.
Dark Wolf, I think, comes out in August. So, yeah, we will have a few weeks once Murderbot ends. Maybe Mobland, maybe Foundation starts the week that Murderbot ends. So, and we'd have all this month to catch up on seasons 1 and 2. We might have to watch Foundation.
So that's 4 weeks.
I could read more Foundation after more Kozigan books and Death Stalker and the Murderbot. Yeah, that's the problem. I've started the 4 game and I didn't get to read as much of it as I wanted to. My wife kept wanting to talk to me. But it's really good so far. Anyway, so the plan right now is just Murderbot, but we'll add something else.
I'm gonna try watching Foundation. If we
Jared's
do start
gonna binge
it,
all of the Bear.
yeah, the Bear, and I'm gonna guess I'll watch the Bear too.
Do it.
It's so good. It's worth it. It's
Do
absolutely
it.
worth it. It's a great show. I love it. Anyway,
Do I have to? Okay, if season 3 comes out, do I have to watch 1 and
Here.
2 to watch season 3?
Yeah.
what we can do is if we don't add more TV shows to the schedule, I can do more reading. Murderbot, yeah, I like the books, and I think the series is pretty good so far. I don't love all of the humor in it, mostly just one joke that I think is dumb, but I've enjoyed it quite a bit. So
It's good. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it's solid.
I think it's a pretty decent adaptation too, pretty faithful. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week with more Murderbot, and yeah, let's just keep it that way because this week's bad for me.
Okay.
But then I will have it the next 2 weeks with nothing to do, and then the next 3 weeks after that with way too much to do. So, all right, see you guys next week with more Murderbot.
See ya.
Hey, and happy Father's Day tomorrow.
Oh yeah, happy Father's Day to all the
Happy
fathers.
Father's Day.
Not to Jerry.
Happy Father's Day.
Sorry,
Alan,
it's an
Jared,
elite
sorry.
club. You can't be. You got. Good night, Justin. Great show. Glad you were able to make
It's
it
funny
too.
that Jared was the one that
Yes.
did that.
Yeah, definitely gonna play either tomorrow or Tuesday some more Conan.
Sunday. I mean,
Maybe
Monday.
we'll stream it because it's been like 2 months since we streamed. Who knows? Let me know if you guys can play.
Mhm.
It's been
I
kind
should
of
be able to.
crazy. But
Yeah, no, it's been busy. I
You know.
I haven't played. I played last week, but just
Problem is,
Mark and
I've
I.
started playing Helldivers and I can't stop.
Okay, all right.
Helldivers
Let me
is
know if you
fun.
guys want to play. If you can, when.
All right, we'll do.
See you guys next week.
See ya.
I'm sorry. Tomorrow is Sunday. I know. I'm in the habit of thinking we're streaming on Sundays, but I've enjoyed streaming on Saturdays instead. So
Yeah, I think it's
tomorrow's Sunday, Monday or Tuesday. I could probably play Sunday night too if my wife's asleep. If all my kids are asleep, maybe late at night. Here's the thing: the Sabbath ends at sundown. Okay, then maybe I could start.
Okay,
some Conan.
that it maybe, but by that logic, the Sabbath has started now. So
Oh, sorry.
It's gotta
We
be
gotta stop
24
talking.
hours.
It's the Sabbath now. Go to bed.
see,
Go to church, everybody. Bye.
okay.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just... say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's true, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining. So please consider joining Patreon and getting your name in the credits with pride.
I'd buy that for $1.